Hmm. Hello. Hello, chat. Hi. Hi. Hi, Nick. Aren't you supposed to be driving? Don't text and drive. Or watch my stream and drive. You will die. Hello. Hello. Look at all my best friends. Oh, you're a passenger? Grab the wheel for me and, like, give it a good tug. Just to see what would happen. Halloween stream? Maybe. It'll be like in the morning though, or maybe not the morning. It'll be like around this time, so I don't know how scary it'll be. No, 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 no. The Budcast has been taken out back and executed, and it'll be brought back from the dead if it ever becomes needed. Nick died. It's true. It's sad. Now the plan for today is we're making it to the big leagues. I got a response video on my Nintendo Direct like commentary video. The Switch 2 is evil video. And it's got a whole 1,000 views. So the Lord Frogmire name finally holds some weight. Because their most recent video has 8 views. So 1,000 is it's more than that. 1,000 is a bigger number than 8. I don't know who it is. Like, I don't think it's not a notable individual. And I'll start this off by saying, and we'll say many times, don't go comment on their video or harass them or whatever. And if you do, I don't know you. I don't know you. You don't know Frogmire either. You're like, who's that frog guy? He seems pretty cool, though. Are you talking about the guy from Family Guy? Thomas, you're here. Are you ready? Ooh, I got a text. Video. What does that mean? Here you go. This is the Frogmire. Fuck. See, I don't know how much of that you could see. Point is, Nick has successfully reached for the wheel, and we've killed Nick. Anyway, might as well. Oh yeah. I did want one thing before we start. I just want everyone to look at this image. You see this? The autistic people will see a honk if you like pizza bumper sticker and think it means if I like pizza, I should honk. Just keep. I know it seems very unrelated. Just keep it in mind. Just keep this in mind because it's very accurate. It's a very. So just keep it in mind. Anyway, maybe I'll probably make it reappear when the time is right. Nick Bros, what happened? He's dead. He grabbed the wheel and drove into a ditch. I mean, Nick's basically a human airbag, so he's probably fine. But everyone else is dead. Everyone else is dead. Anyway, video time. Are you ready? Don't get scared. By the way, you're gonna hear a scary voice. I know it's Halloween, but you know, sit on the toilet if you need to.
The world is full of evil.
British. British.
Is
I'm
a
sorry.
resource controlled
Sorry for that, guys.
and used as a bargaining chip by massive
Oh
corporations.
yeah, tell me if it's loud or quiet or whatever.
The money from one of the largest media franchises on the planet is being funneled towards the support of anti-trans movements.
No.
The UN recently declared a genocide is being conducted by Israel against Palestinians.
No.
One which an alarming amount of people would support.
No.
And worst of all, Nintendo charged $20 for mediocre Donkey Kong Bonanza DLC.
That's clearly the worst one, though. Yeah, that's the worst of those three things. He only gave us 3 examples. That one's definitely the worst one. Like, what do you mean? That's definitely the worst one. Megan Rock and Roll, thanks for the $2. Something scary. Toads. They are scary. I need to. I've been looking places to move. And the toad population is my number one thing I'm looking at. They're scary. They eat all the bugs, and then we have no bugs. We'll starve. Us and our frog brethren.
See. Yeah. These things are definitely the same.
I know, they're not the same at all. The third one you named was way worse than the other 2. What video is this? I won't tell you. I mean, I'm sure you could figure it out. But I don't trust you guys. You're going to do bad things. And I do not endorse harassment of any kind. If you do anything, I don't know you and you don't know me, right? I don't know you, you don't know me. You're like, who's that frogmire guy? You mean the dude from Family Guy? That guy? I like Family Guy. Hit him with one of those.
I'm going to be honest, I never thought I'd be the type of content creator to directly call out another creator's video.
Yeah, you should feel bad.
I saw a video
You're bullying me.
that really caught my eye. It's by a creator called Lord Frogmire.
That's me.
I don't think I've ever seen a video from. And usually I just pass by a video that's very clearly complaining. Unless it was about something.
Look at that big... Look at how fucking... Dude, my thumbnail game, it like... You know, it was here. Now it's up here. Right? Look at that big smile, dude. Look at that big old smile. You know fucking... Whatever his name is. Fuck. Sakurai. Sakurai does not smile. You cannot find it with teeth. He smiles without teeth. You cannot find an image of Sakurai with his teeth. Maybe he has no teeth. I don't know. So I had to put someone else's smile on him. But look at that big old smile. That's a face you can trust.
I myself wanted to hear complaints about. And seeing as my views on the Nintendo Direct were largely very positive.
Which is psychotic, by the way. Nobody fucking liked that. Like, nobody. That's what, I don't know. I'll probably end up mentioning it later anyway. But these videos, I expected to have a massive dislike, a massive number of dislike, poor ratio between likes and dislikes. Not the case. My channel average, it's going up there, but it was like 80% like, which is insanely low for any channel. But all those videos have like between 90 and 95, which is, so the vast majority of people agree with me. Yeah, Nick didn't even like it, and he likes everything. Especially driving into ditches. That's his favorite.
I've already seen.
What message did you retract, Nick? Coward? I want to know what it was.
Just about every complaint there can be on Reddit. I almost passed this one up entirely. Watching that kind of thing is not...
Also, already admitted to being a Redditor. You can't do that, dog. You can't do that! You fool! Never admit to that!
something that's going to be productive to my day. It will just get me unnecessarily annoyed about
no video is productive.
And
watching YouTube is never productive.
But it's something about the title of that video that caught my eye.
Dude, this is how you know it's a good title, though. You know, I wasn't going to watch it. I never watched these kind of videos. But something about that title. I know it's a good title, right? Pretty good title. You know, I even debated about that title. It was going to be Nintendo is evil, right? But I think Switch 2, it just does, I don't know. It seemed like it does better. That's a good-ass title. It's a good-ass title. The thing is, I feel like the definition of clickbait has changed. When I was growing up, 900 years ago, clickbait meant the title had nothing to do with the video, right? So you would click on it and be like, this isn't what I thought it was, and then you click off, right? But it actually does, that would kill your video, right? You would, Google gets angry if you do that. The algorithm doesn't like it, right? Because they do watch time. So, I mean, you call it clickbait, but the people who see that title watch the whole video. So, I mean, it's fairly representative of what you're going to see.
Switch 2 is evil. Evil.
Evil. You're evil
This
for
could
daring to question me.
be something to behold. What I was greeted by was honestly worse than I even thought it was going to
Oh
be.
my god.
I don't know how someone can take a reasonable point of view and express it in such a way that it makes it seem unreasonable and, at times, objectively
It is a
incorrect.
base title.
But here we are. I am not shy of voicing my opinions, but I also try to be aware of the fact that my viewpoint is always going to be tainted by my own biases, as will...
First of all, 2 minutes in, there's an hour and 22 minutes. We're hitting double speed at some point. But yeah, maybe I'll pull it on 1.5 because this is gonna take a real long time. That's for 1.5 times speed. But yeah, point is, I watched a little bit of this already, not much, just enough to see if it was worth watching on stream. This is a lie, by the way. What he's saying right here is a lie. That's what we call a lie. Let's do 1.5. Look, you can see I disliked it. Maybe I should like it. Give it a big old like. Nope. Not doing it.
Anyone's. So the fact that this video is so unhinged that I feel emboldened enough to actually call
It's
it
unhinged.
out, that's when you know
Video's
it's bad.
unhinged.
A few baseline things I want to go through before actually getting into the video itself. I do not claim my opinion to be the right one. No matter how strongly I state
I
it,
do.
I'm trying to keep as much
I
balance
do
in
claim
mind
that.
as I
By the way, every single one of my videos, it is implicitly understood that what I'm saying is a fact. I have never said an opinion in my life. Everything I think and believe is 100% correct. Fuck you. How about that?
That said, I do generally tend to verge on the side of positivity with a lot of things, and particularly with Nintendo. That doesn't mean I'll always think everything Nintendo does is amazing, but I enjoy playing Nintendo games, and when I enjoy things, I like to be in communities with other people who enjoy them. And sometimes in those communities...
This is such fucking cowardice, by the way, where it's like, if I like something, that means I can't possibly think anything negative about it, and I want to be around other people who only think positive things about it. Bro, the things I like the most are the ones I criticize the most heavily. You know, because that's what it means to be human, as opposed to this, Bugman.
Will be very critical of this guy saying the stuff that he's saying, but not because I want to defend the billion-dollar company. Lord knows they don't need the help. With that said, there are some reasonable complaints, and I will try to highlight.
Good guy, you're gonna if you want only negative videos, skip the Kirby video. Because that, when Kirby Air Yours comes out, dude, I'm like so fucking excited for that game now.
There are certainly people out there that believe these views just as strongly as is expressed here, but my instinct is that he's found a style of content that gets views and is rolling with it. While his video with the most views isn't one complaining about Nintendo, many of the runners-up to that title are, and that's incentive.
Do you think he was excited about the ZA video? Because that one did even better than all those. Not only did it do better than all those, but actually bumped all those other ones up. Does this guy have a family? No family, not a good Christian. Look, I think Google probably won't like if I do this, but I'm pretty sure his profile picture is his face. Not going good. I do not have positive things to say.
Then again, most of his videos are driven by negativity, so maybe he just likes to complain. I also want to point out
I do.
That's true. Other videos. I don't think I could take another one, so maybe I'm misrepresenting him, but like, come on. Of course, making a video about this could just give him more of the attention that he appears to crave and, in my opinion, does not deserve.
Brother, I don't need your attention.
My channel is way smaller than
dude,
his, and
oh no, he shows this picture. I won't say anything. I didn't say anything. Not a word. Not a fucking word. I didn't say nothing. Don't look. Don't look. Close your eyes. Block it. Block it from the screen. But but it's like, imagine thinking of you like, I'm gonna give him the attention he clearly craves from you. I don't need you. You got 1,000. Look, not saying anything. I'm just saying, motherfucker, I don't need you. I like money, and that's what I get money. Imagine getting paid to do the thing I was already doing all the time, which is complaining.
He's already a relatively small YouTuber, so I can make a video criticizing him fairly guilt-free.
Look at that. Wait, whoa. Wait a second. Let's go back here. I have 18 videos. But now I think it's 20. I have 20 videos. He has 52. I don't know. 52 seems like a bigger number than that. I think he's the bigger YouTuber. I'm actually a much smaller channel. Only 20 videos? That's like nothing. I'm a tiny channel.
Criticizing him fairly guilt-free. And if he ever saw this video and decided to respond, he'd be punching down, so it's a win-win.
Oh, no, not punching down! Not punching down, no! No. What's crazy is, I don't care. at all. So get fucked. The reason why I wouldn't make a video responding to that is because it wouldn't get any views and it would be incredibly self-indulgent. And we all know I'm not self-indulgent. Come on.
So, for the sake of not making this video way longer than it needs to be through just playing clips of...
Brother! Way longer than it needs to be. It's 122 minutes. We're going to be here for all fucking day.
I'm going to cut around the bits that I need to show and don't need to show. I don't feel the need to say something about everything, but I also don't want to feel like I'm taking frogmire out of context.
It's all out of context. Fuck you.
But it may be an imperfect...
Show the whole video without any cuts.
Ready to start this.
Or you're taking me out of context.
Nintendo has been playing the villain now for a long time.
Okay, so first things first. The beginning of the video is just bafflingly poorly edited. Half of the first word he says is cut.
What?
I've made, 50 videos now?
What? Poorly edited? Poorly edited? You motherfucker, you piece of shit! Who the fuck do you think you're talking to? This has been one fucking clip! You're calling my video poorly edited. Yours starts with... here, we're at 5 minutes. I'll remember that. This is the start of his fucking video. You want to talk about poorly fucking edited? Who are you talking to? Imagine looking at something 10,000 times more successful than you. Actually, it's more than 10,000. That's hilarious. 10,000 is an understatement. It's more than 10,000 times more successful than you. And being like, nah, I do it better. Nah, I do it better. Who the fuck do you think you are? You motherfucker. I walked Bob Dylan on stage. You piece of shit. Imagine saying that, dude. This video is one fucking clip. Saying I'm poorly, you piece of shit.
Of cutting myself.
Am I?
Yeah, you gotta turn the game down.
Yeah, because you made me turn it up.
Yeah, because I think...
Hello?
Filter to boost...
Hello?
Did you ever have a filter to boost your gain in,
No.
in OBS?
No.
No.
Hello? It is at 1.5 times speed.
Keep talking.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds but it's like way more quiet.
What do you mean it's way more?
Well, obviously, turn the gain down.
Oh.
You can... Well, what does it look like in OBS? Are you up in the red?
Yeah, always. I've always been in the red. I don't think I've ever not been in the red. Hello? Hello? Fuck you, Kobe! You fat piece of shit! Is that...
Yeah, I think you're fine.
Okay. It's been fixed. What other problem apparently existed is no longer a problem. Don't lean into it, but that's the fun. Hello? Hello?
Off in the first second of any of them. It's just alarmingly sloppy. Now, to be fair,
it's alarmingly sloppy. This motherfucker. This absolute... Imagine being that fucking delusional. To call my video alarmingly sloppy, and then this motherfucker just uses one clip the entire time. Just it's a good clip, though. It's a one big long clip. It's real good.
I guess I could theorize that maybe it's a deliberate way to manipulate the YouTube algorithm.
The fuck are you talking about?
When you see a preview of a video on YouTube before you click on it, and then you actually click on it, the video starts from where you saw that preview up to. But that will make a lot of people rewind because they want to hear the entire sentence in one. I know I do.
What?
So starting a video with what sounds like the continuation of a sentence from where a preview ended will make people try to rewind and see the beginning that they've already saw.
What the fuck are you talking about, dog?
Maybe that will do some YouTube
schizophrenia
and make it more likely for the videos to perform better. I don't know.
Schizophrenia?
That's just a guess from someone who doesn't know much about how to game the system, clearly. And it's probably just poor video making, but even if it isn't...
Poor video... Dude, I literally... This is like the homeless man on the side of the street talking to the businessman being like, you have no idea what you're doing. Dog, you have no idea what you're doing. If I were you, I'd be a billionaire. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
That's not better. Not only does it show that he's willing to compromise the quality of his video for what will likely be the tiniest bump of views.
What the fuck are you talking about? What is going on? Genuinely, what the fuck is going on?
Willing to manipulate the algorithm and his viewers like that, then it paints a picture of someone...
Manipulate? What? Okay, did I like skip a part? Like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Also, for the sake of not making this video way
Alright.
longer than it needs to be through just playing clips
Double
and talking
speed it
all the
for a
time,
second.
I'm going to cut around the bits that I need to show and don't need
Yeah,
to show.
yeah, yeah.
I don't
Cut
really
around,
need to
blah,
say
blah,
something
blah.
about everything, but I also don't want to feel like I'm taking Frogmire out of context. I'll do my best to represent the points he's making, but it may be an imperfect process, so bear that in mind. Okay, I think I'm ready to start this. Brace yourselves.
Nintendo has been playing the villain now for a long time.
Okay, so first things first. The beginning of the video is just bafflingly poorly edited. Half of the first word he says is cut off. I've made
All of that was for that? What? Oh my god. All right, I actually forgot about this. Okay, I actually set this up. Wait. So he's saying I cut off the beginning of my word. That went on like a 15-minute diatribe about how I'm evil and I'm disingenuous because I cut off the first word. God damn. Let's see. That's not the right. This one. There we go. Okay, this is the original audio of the video. So let's see what he's talking about. Nintendo has been playing. Nintendo has been playing. Yeah, I guess I say Tendo instead of Nintendo. And the cool thing is, how Audacity works is it keeps the original clip, right? So we can see if I actually cut it off. Nintendo has been. No, I just say Tendo. I didn't cut it. I don't know. I say Tendo instead of Nintendo. What do you want from me? Poor video making. Disingenuous. Because he said Tendo instead of Nintendo. Who's this Tendo? Who could it possibly be? Who could Tendo be? It could be, you know, it's a mystery. Who's that Mario guy in that first clip, by the way? Look at that. This is what's being shown while I say that, by the way. Who could it be? We'll never know. We'll never know what Tendo means. We'll never know. Dude, this is actual schizophrenia. This is like what? Oh shit.
Argument laughable. We've seen what truly heinous is.
Wait, okay.
And the
It's EA, Ubisoft, Blizzard.
if it isn't, that's not better. Not only does it show that he's willing to compromise the quality of his video for what
I'm compromising the quality of my video.
like to be the tiniest bump of views, but if he's willing to manipulate the algorithm and
I'm manipulating the algorithm. Dude, this is like severe schizophrenia. Yeah, where's my picture? Here's my read this and feel anger.
viewers like that, then it paints a picture of someone that has the potential to be inauthentic or trying to manipulate the system in other
Remember, this guy said he didn't want to make his biases clear, and he's already in the first 6 minutes of the video saying I am inauthentic because I said Tendo instead of Nintendo. What do you want me to do here? I clearly just understands video making more than I do. That seems to be the answer here.
ways, like deliberately rage baiting and presenting inauthentic opinions in order to get more views. I mean, that's my theory, but again, probably just poor editing.
Yeah. Just poor editing, by the way. From the first 6 minutes of this video has been the same clip of him failing a challenge over and over again. I wonder if that'll continue.
EA, Ubisoft, Blizzard, Activision.
Really? People criticizing Activision Blizzard? Never. I can't imagine a single reason that company would have been heavily criticized over the last few years. I know Frogmire specifically trying to make the comparison in terms of their monetization practices, but when you name a video this, and the first 10 seconds mentions a company that infamously allowed a large amount of sexual misconduct to occur within its walls, you...
Oh no. I'm sorry. I'm sure people are very hurt by that.
just make your own argument laughable. We've seen what truly heinous companies look like. You mentioned them. Nintendo, on the flip side, is known for an incredible star satisfaction rate, which means that at the very least, they are not even in the same stratosphere.
Brother, I don't give a fuck. Dude, I hate to break it to you. When I get a sandwich, when I get a table, when I get a video game, I don't give a fuck about the staff satisfaction rate. That doesn't mean shit to me. What are you talking about, dog? Man, I really hope the guy who made my sandwich is having a good day. I mean, I hope he's having a good day, but it doesn't fucking mean anything to me.
In terms of evil game companies, just because they charge a little bit too much for a game you don't have to buy.
Let's talk about the new Pokemon, which has a day one on-disc DLC.
5 seconds. 5 seconds is all it took into him talking about Legends today to say something literally, objectively wrong.
Dude, I watched up to this part. Wait. He makes it really clear. Objectively wrong.
Using the word objectively because it's used in the wrong situation most of the time these days. But this is the right time to use it. So, day one DLC. I was unaware that day one of a game's launch extends for 4 months these days. This is a common thing people have been saying, that the DLC is day one DLC. It's not. It was announced early, but it launches in February, and the game comes out in October. There's no definition of day one DLC that covers what they're doing with this game. Okay, just for the sake of completeness, I want to
what is this? What is this?
jump in here from editing. This is actually the second edit I'm doing. The first one is going to come later, so look forward to that. But yes, I recently had a discussion with someone where they pointed out the fact that actually, technically, it is day one DLC. And the reason
Oh no! Literally objectively wrong, dude! Come on! He said literally objectively wrong. You know this is a script, by the way, too. It's a script and he wrote literally objectively. You know, you can always... Poorly edited, by the way. My videos are poorly edited. Making that clear. My videos are poorly edited, but enjoy this black screen. Matt Tiggy, thanks for the $2. This guy's such a crab in a bucket and a woman. It's true. I don't know who he's pulling down, though. It ain't me. I'm well out of the bucket. I'm looking into the bucket and being like, damn, that's a lot of crabs. Literally objectively wrong, though.
That's because the first wave of the DLC...
Bar, why are you telling me the wrongdoing you're doing? What you're doing, you're not supposed to be doing. If you're going to do things you're not supposed to do, at least don't tell me.
Basically, on launch adds a costume. I think 2 costumes. I think one is male styled, one is female styled. So technically, yes, it's day 1 DLC because that releases on day 1.
Get on,
the rest of
pussy!
The DLC releases later. That may well be true.
Ooh, it may be true. Literally, objectively wrong, but it may be true. Literally, objectively. Dude, I get being dumb in real life. That makes perfect sense to me. You know, people make mistakes. You get flustered. This is a video. You can edit. You can change whatever you want whenever you want.
Change really the idea.
Absolutely absurd.
DLC,
completely absurd.
On day 1. Okay? The bulk of the DLC is what they would have spent the time on. The reason that...
Look at all the pores, by the way, who don't have the good crab emote. You will be shamed.
DLC is not coming for launch is because of that bulk of the DLC that can't be made, that early. So
yeah, it
yes,
can't be. Oh yeah, dude, it can't because those fucking Pokemon games, they're really hard to make. They're known for extremely high budgets and high quality. There's just no way they could have made the DLC in time. There's just no way.
Did custom content and make that a costume.
Yeah, there we go.
They're
the good crafts.
Really, it's just 1 or 2 costumes. Even then, there is a very, very good chance that they made the costumes specifically for the DLC. There are other costumes that will come with the DLC, and they just, made one of those an early bonus for the DLC. So it's also not a pre-order bonus. This is technically, it kind of does act as one, but technically, I believe you will be able to get it even if you don't pre-order it. So just another thing that I was saying that was, supposedly wrong. But yeah, so I just wanted to be very clear about that because I know that from what I said in the video, this
is well edited, by the way. My video is poorly edited, by the way. This is just absurd. I genuinely can't believe this. I could understand this kind of thing if you didn't start the video by saying my video's poorly edited. And then
actually a very specific hole in my argument.
I love black screen. Black screen time is my favorite part of the video.
It doesn't actually change the foundation.
I love it.
Okay. This also goes to the claim of it being on-disc DLC. No, the DLC is likely still being developed. Probably in the closing stages of development, but it's
no fucking way. The game got delayed by a year. There's no fucking way they're still developing. They just have it and are waiting.
It makes him look a little silly. It makes his outrage seem out of ignorance and jumping to a conclusion based on faulty information rather than anything. I also feel like people don't seem to consider the possibility of why Game Freak has actually done this. Sure, as he goes on to say, it is tone deaf, but remember that the full list of base game megas has already leaked, which has taken the wind out of the sails of the game a little. Announcing the DLC early means showing off not only 2 new megas,
bro, you're a fucking idiot. You're actually a fucking idiot if you
whether it could have been in the base game. They very well could have waited until a couple
people aren't realizing that this, if you think about it like a retard, might actually be good press. If you're retarded, it might be good press. You do realize you have the power of hindsight. You know this is objectively false. That this was a bad idea.
Launches, the reaction would have been basically fine, and the DLC still could have released at the same time, which calls into question whether the reaction is really because there's something wrong here, or just people letting their perception of it be skewed by a weird announcement time. But there's one thing I want to point out:
weird announcement
shouldn't be overlooked.
It's just a weird announcement time. That's all it is. It's a weird announcement time. Releasing an unfinished game and then announcing DLC before it even comes out. That's just weird announcement time that people are upset about. I take my biases out of things, though. I'm an unbiased person. It is 1.5. Why do you keep saying please? That's what it is. No, oh wait, it's 2. Fuck, I forgot. My bad.
Nintendo we're talking about.
Yeah, you guys are slow. You gotta up your brain speed. Your brain speed is slow. What? You take the little dial and dial it up 1 or 2 notches. The brain's... Me, I'm like, is this normal speed? That's literally what I thought. When people were saying it was 1.5, I'm like, is this normal speed?
Pokemon Company is a joint venture owned
up the brain
split
speed,
by
dude.
Nintendo,
Up the brain
Game Freak, and Creatures Inc. Nintendo has a sizable cut of Pokemon, but isn't actually involved much in its development, if at all.
Look, you're slow in the body and the mind.
Get on with it, and whether they should or not is another matter. But blaming anything development-wise on Nintendo feels very presumptuous. We don't know that they had any control over whether the deal.
Look, you don't know if it's Nintendo's fault. Then it means it can't possibly be Nintendo's fault. Homie, I don't give a fuck whose fault it is. Point is, it sucks and you suck. How about that? How's that sound?
was cut content from the game. In fact, it would largely seem that they didn't. People often miss this though because they see Pokemon and assume Nintendo is the problem because Nintendo is who they
I
already
can't
have
get
the
over it though, but
They're
like
already in trouble.
my
People are
video's
already
poorly
upset about the
editing, by the
Pokemon
way.
Power
I just
lawsuit.
did-
And really, it's not even the lawsuit that's upsetting people. It's their aggressive patenting that they're using the patent office, which is supposed to be about a scientist or an engineer being able to make money on their inventions. Now it's being used to hoard game mechanics that they did
This
not
guy
invent
seems pretty
and
smart.
do not
I like
own,
this
but
guy.
have the money to defend so that they can destroy any competition.
Now, this kind of feels like a tangent, but we have to talk about the Power World situation. If
Okay.
Nintendo tries to use patents in order to squash any competition, that is bad, absolutely. Abuse
Okay.
of patent law in order to go after smaller companies who aren't doing anything wrong is a bad thing to do.
Okay.
I have to clarify this as my stance, because I know people will assume I think this is something Nintendo has the right to do. I don't. That I'm defending them
Okay.
on this topic is because they
What?
so far have not done any of what Frogmire has claimed.
What
They've been
the
using their-
fuck are you talking about? Are you retarded? You do realize Power World is whoever makes it, I don't even fucking know, is a tiny company. You think they're Nintendo sized?
patents to go after Power World, but they're going after Power World alone. A lot of people who have issues with
That's because that's the only one that made any fucking money, retard.
Pokemon or Nintendo like to deny it, but the
Yeah,
evidence
Pocket
that
Pair.
Power World used Pokemon assets in their game is just impossible to deny. They may have altered them.
Impossible to deny. They're not okay. If that was true and it was impossible to deny, they could sue for it. That is illegal. To steal assets is illegal.
But they largely just stole from Nintendo. They just did it in a way that Nintendo can't do anything about because they.
Oh, they stole in a way that wasn't stealing. But they still stole, even though it wasn't stealing. But they stole, even though it wasn't stealing. I can't, dude. I can't.
Just enough
I'm disingenuous, though. That's me. I'm just the disingenuous guy. They just stole in a way that they weren't stealing. Because they're thieves.
to be legal. But in a world where AI is sparking issues due to the fact that it's a form of content theft, to defend Power World for doing the same thing, just probably without AI, feels.
What? What? Huh? That's literally completely unrelated. Like, people hate AI for stealing stuff, but you don't hate Power World for stealing, for doing what AI does, but not using AI? Okay.
Really weird. Until such a time as Nintendo tries to sue anyone other than Pocket Pair, it's incredibly clear that their beef is only with Power World. They don't want to nuke the competition. They've supported other creature collector games in the past.
Yeah, games that don't fucking make money. Temtem, you know, it made some, but look at Temtem now. It's fucking nothing, you know? Power World was the first game and partners with Sony to make real money. That's why.
They just don't want to let a company profit from stolen assets and plagiarized designs. So they found
It's objectively, this is what I'm talking about. Yeah, man, I'm the disingenuous liar, but they're plagiarized designs. Oh, okay, so that's an illegal thing that they could pursue in court? They're not doing that, though, are they? It's almost like it's not plagiarism, then. Crazy, weird, huh?
loophole, a way they could get a Pocket Pair. Pocket Pair abused the
What
copyright
the
system to their
fuck?
benefit, so Nintendo abused the patent system to get back at them.
What's it take to be this level of fanboy? I genuinely need to know. What does it take to be this level of fanboy? Well, yeah, Power World abused the copyright system. That's what they did. Abuse the copyright system. Look, if you make a Pokemon-inspired game, you're abusing the copyright system. So they're just abusing the patent system to get them back. What's wrong with that? Eye for an eye, right? What's the problem with that? NR, thanks to $5. Hey, brother. It looks like you're holding up better. I am. I'm really glad that you're keeping the mold at bay. Keep up the gatekeeping out of the toads. I will. I'll do my best. But yeah, I'm booling. I'm doing like extra good today because I finally got a good night's sleep. Haven't been sleeping good. Yeah, imagine. Yeah, really, they're abusing fair use. Dude, imagine that. Imagine being such a fucking Nintendo dick sucker to be like, your designs are similar to Pokemon. You should be arrested. You're abusing the copyright system. God, it's pathetic.
Whether that's right or wrong is another matter, but I, for one, am not going to cry any tears over Nintendo going after a company with a history of doing this. People keep saying Nintendo's going to try screwing over indie companies, but they've yet
This is what I'm talking about. Pal World's Pal's whatever is a tiny company. before Pal World, like, I mean, even Pal World's kind of a slop game. Like, this is a tiny company. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Even suggest they're going to attempt that.
It is, by any definition, like, if you consider Hades to be an indie game, then Pals, whatever they're fucking called, I don't remember, is an indie company. It is.
They probably won't. You know who has? Pocket Pair. I don't understand patent law, but from what I've heard, what they've patented just isn't anywhere close to what people, Frogmire included, are suggesting. It's not
just a fucking... I assume this is him saying this is them copying Hollow Knight.
Using monsters to fight other monsters. It's a specific chain of events during gameplay that realistically only exists if they're going to attempt that, and we know they probably won't. You know who has? Pocket Pair.
What is this? Chat, what is this? I love when people don't explain, and they're just like, why make an argument when I could just show an image for half a frame? I assume he's claiming that they stole from Hollow Knight. I don't know.
I don't understand patent law, but from what I've heard, what they've patented just isn't anywhere close to what people, Frogmire included.
Oh, by the way, proof he's retarded. Because the news just came out that Japan denied their patent. Because it's for lack of, lack of proof that they invented it or whatever. Yeah, lack of originality. That's what it was. They denied the patent for lack of originality. So, there you go. Complete and utter proof that these patents are bullshit. Get owned. Loser.
It's not just the idea of using monsters to fight other monsters. It's a specific chain of events during gameplay that realistically only exists in a game like Legends Arceus. Anyone making a creature collection game will be fine, as long as they don't actively try and copy Game Freak. Something, they shouldn't be doing.
These are not defendable patents. They're being used as a weapon.
Imagine being like, you shouldn't copy game mechanics. You do realize that's every game ever made, you fucking retard? Like, genuinely. Name one game that doesn't copy mechanics from some other game. Every Metroidvania is basically a clone of Metroid or Castlevania. Like, nearly one-to-one clone. But no, we can't have that. We can't have that, because Nintendo's just a small indie company. You have to be nice to them.
Round the enemy in legal costs to force them to just give up.
This is entirely correct. Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Imagine... Alright, dog. Alright. Yeah, that's right. It's completely right. It is completely right and morally correct. He's saying it is morally correct for a large company to drown a smaller company in legal costs, even though they know they are wrong. He's admitting this. This is true. And that this is morally correct. God damn, dude. Nintendo fanboys, they don't make them. They don't, they don't make anything like them. Just actually, pure bugman. Evil bugman.
But you have to be...
That's not evil, by the way. And our thanks for $5. This dude should go after coding channels, making Minecraft clones, lol. Yeah, just... Here's the difference, though. That's Minecraft, not Nintendo. I bet you that he doesn't talk about it, but I guarantee you this guy approves of the shutting down all the fan games and shit. Dude, I've said it before. If you were to drown to death in the liquefied remains of your own family, Nintendo not only wouldn't care, but they would have done it to you if it meant they could make more money. So dick sucking them this hard is just insane. But, pizza. Honk if you like pizza. Honk, 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 honk. Honk if you like pizza. Anyway. The Grizz, thanks for the $10. I abuse the dishwasher. The dishwasher abuses my ears. What is this world coming to? Yeah, but that unironically. Look, when the dishwasher is like, me. I don't know, man. I'm kidding. I'm not. I am, though. I would never harm anyone, let alone my dishwasher, which is very loud and annoying.
Ignoring the evidence to actually not realize...
One of the sad part is the dishwasher's me. I'm the fucking dishwasher. I was literally just thinking about that. I fucking hate dishwashing. It's me.
Why they're doing it, and why Pocket Pet is not the good guy in this situation. The fact that Nintendo is only doing this to someone that has actively wronged them kind of demonstrates that they aren't abusing this for...
Actively wrong them. Actively wrong them. God, these are some sick and twisted motherfuckers. How dare you How dare you make anything like Pokemon? How fucking dare you?
Not in the way everyone's suggesting anyway.
It is suppressing competition and will end up with less interesting games and worse games. Do you really want to live in a world where developers are afraid of using any game mechanics that even tangentially relate to something that's been in a Nintendo game?
Let's ignore that, again, that isn't how the patent law works. The question is, would you want to...
I agree with you. It isn't how the law works at all. They're getting illegal patents, which is now, I've been 100% proven right, by the way, given one of their patents just got denied in Japan, which is way more lenient than basically anywhere else with this shit. So it is blatantly illegal. But it doesn't matter if it's legal. They're using it as a weapon to basically steal as much money as they possibly can and crush them under legal costs so the company shuts down. Right? So it doesn't matter if it's illegal. You still have to fight that and prove it in court. And they can delay and delay and delay and delay until you just run out of money. Something that would only work on a small company, an indie company, the thing that you are lying and saying they're not doing. You pathetic loser, fuck you.
Live in a world where whenever an indie dev makes something, they'll have their work essentially stolen by a bigger fish. Because if Pocket Pair ends up winning, many similar companies will be emboldened to do just.
This has never happened, by the way. This has never happened. Like, what? This is why it's like psychotic that, again, the people who benefit the most from stuff like copyright law is Disney, Nintendo, massive corporations with a ton of IPs that make billions of dollars. No one gives a fuck about your tiny fan fiction. Nintendo's not stealing your little fan fiction characters and, oh man, but they can't do it because of copyright law. You do not benefit from it. God, it's like so fucking pathetic.
That. We do not want to live in that world. Creativity in the industry has been fine since the lawsuit. No one's worried about it because anyone with any sense can see that the issue isn't making games similar to Nintendo. It's literally taking their stuff, changing it up a little.
Yeah. Something that's always been legal and people have done forever. And Nintendo has done, by the way. I don't know why the fuck you think they've invented every game mechanic on the planet.
And selling it as their own. And no self-respecting developer is actually thinking of doing this. I want to reiterate, if Nintendo does abuse patents against smaller studios on that...
It already has. This is how we know you're a fucking liar, because they already have pals, whatever the fuck, I can't believe I keep forgetting. Pals, palmen, pals? Pal guys, pal people. Them, Pocket Pair, that's what it is. Pocket Pair is a small company. What you're saying they're not doing is exactly what they're doing right now. You're just delusional.
Being claimed. That is wrong. But that's not what's happening. And with time, I have no doubt we'll see that that isn't going to happen.
Could you imagine
it already
if Dark Souls
happened.
Got sued for being too similar to Zelda? Like, oops, you used lock-on targeting, and that's in Zelda games. Now From Software gets sued in the ground. No more Elden Ring, no more Sekiro, no more Dark Souls 3.
Yeah, but they aren't doing that. You bring up a hypothetical example, but you undermine your point by claiming Nintendo can do this when they aren't.
They're doing it right now, you delusional fuck! Like, what are you I genuinely, it's like arguing with something. You know the sky's blue, right? You can look outside. Look outside right fucking now. It's blue. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. It's not blue. Nuh-uh. It's red. It's fucking red. All right. There's no point. Like, how do you argue with someone who's so fucking delusional that they're denying reality?
You're just overblowing the situation, or they can and are choosing not to.
So on the back of this,
exactly.
Nintendo
and
saying,
if they did it again, because they're already doing it once, if they did it again, he would just say, well, they also deserve it. They're just getting back at them. Imagine saying that. Imagine saying they're justified with doing something he admits is illegal, or is not legally defensible, but it's okay because he's getting back at them. God, how fucking pathetic are you? A giant multi-billion-dollar corporation getting back at an indie company. That's what you're saying, and you're defending the multi-billionaire. I mean, God. And, you know, as we could tell from the beginning of the video, this is a liberal we're talking about. A supposed, almost definitely commie liberal defending the multi-billion-dollar company going after the indie developers.
Only we can make Pokemon games, or anything even slightly similar to Pokemon.
I don't want to keep harping on the same point, but they aren't doing that. Do you know how many creature collection games are on the Switch?
Yeah, and none of them make any money. I'm sorry, I hate to break it to you. None of them make any money. It's good enough for them. It's good enough for them, right? The indie developers are probably plenty happy with how much money they're making. but there ain't fucking making Pokemon money. And Pal World made real fucking money, and it's the only one to make real fucking money.
That have been featured in Nintendo Directs. They don't want a monopoly on the genre. They never have. They never will.
Here's our new Pokemon
They
game.
already have it. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, imagine being... I just genuinely can't. I can't imagine people this delusional. They already have a monopoly. Pokemon makes more money in 1 year than every other creature collector combined. Ever. In all of time. That's a monopoly.
And it's not even complete. It's not complete on release.
It's interesting that he can claim a game is incomplete without it being released. How do you...
Weird. Man, it's almost like you can see patterns or something, and then your predictions become more accurate over time. Man, it's almost like I made a video and everyone agrees with me, except for delusional retards like you. And I was right. I was able to predict it before the game even came out. I must just have superpowers. That must be the answer, right? I have superpowers. That's how I was able to predict that the game was incomplete. And I was correct, by the way, because now we have hindsight. The game did come out, and it is incomplete.
You know, we don't know what content there is.
We do.
Is it just because it has DLC? Are you saying that
No,
DLC
the game's
shouldn't
out.
exist?
The game's out, and we already fucking know. I guess I have superpowers. That's the only explanation. I have superpowers. Well, I'm
content should just
pretty.
disappear
I mean,
and
that's
we
pretty
should
cool.
never have
Here's the
gotten
next thing I'm predict. I'm predicting. British people are subhuman. That's not a prediction. That's always been true. Let me predict some more stuff. Beep, beep, beep. Europeans are subhuman. Wait, that was always true. Give me a second. Beep, beep, beep. Canadians are subhuman. Oh, wait, that's always been true. Fuck. More psychic powers.
No, of course you aren't. You're saying that it should have been in the base game, even though it never would have existed if it wasn't DLC. Again, if they don't make DLC, it doesn't mean we get more base game content. It just means we don't have DLC. I know people have had gripes with the post game of recent Pokemon games, and that's valid. But the gutting of post game has been happening well before DLC was a thing. In fact, we know why that is. It's because they found that most players don't actually play the post game, and I'd imagine they want to save the resources they would have put into that. Now,
yeah, that's called making shit games. I said it before in my Kirby video. I don't care if 1% of players play it or 0%, even. Maybe not 0%. I don't care if it's 1%, 0.1%, right? Top Ride, no one disliked it, but not very popular. But we put it in the game anyway. We remade it, revamped it, put it in the game anyway, even though it's a waste of money because fuck the charts, fuck the businessmen, make a good game. That's what it means to make a good game. Who the fuck cares if only 10% of people aren't mentally retarded and make it to it? Because those 10% will really fucking appreciate it and talk about how great the game is. Yeah, keep making games for the mentally retarded who can't do anything.
criticizing that is definitely valid. They should put more effort into their post game for those players who would enjoy it. But the idea that the reduction of base game content is linked to DLC is simply false. And the idea of
Bro,
DLC...
there is no fucking base game content. What are you talking? Use your fucking eyes. Again, I can't argue with it. I have superpowers. That's the solution. I have superpowers. It's the only explanation.
DLC is. It's essentially a stand-in for third versions, not post-game. And people don't consider games like Gold and Silver or Ruby and Sapphire to be incomplete. They're third versions.
No, here's the big point here. Here's the big point. It'd be a good point. That's like, whoa, wouldn't you rather pay $20 for DLC than $40 for a whole new game? First of all, that's not that big of a difference. Only a $20 difference. But actually, I think it was $15 because I think it was a $35 game. But the point is, when you bought Ruby and Sapphire, those were complete games. Complete. And you appreciated them, and you liked them, and they were great. Legend ZA is a piece of shit, and is obviously incomplete. That's why it's annoying. Fuck, I burped. That's why it's annoying. If ZA was a complete game, and was great, and had balconies, and you could go in the fucking buildings in a city... I wouldn't be bothered by the DLC. I wouldn't. But it's not. It's a piece of shit, and everyone agrees. Who's not retarded?
More content. That's what DLC is.
But in the newest trailer for the new Pokemon game, whose main selling point is a new Mega Pokemon, they showcase 5 new Megas, none of which are available to you if all you buy is the main game.
Okay. This is par for the course. Now, I'm just going
to mention again, fucking not!
This is not Nintendo.
What the fuck are you talking? This is par for the course. Say something completely absurd. That's par for the course. Yeah, dude, someone broke into your house and stole all your shit. Par for the course, dude. What are you talking about? What are you bothered by? It's par for the course. Man, I was walking through London and got stabbed 65 times. Yeah, that's par for the course. What are you talking about? That happens all the time. dude, British people. I hate them.
It's doing. It's game free, but beyond that, it's par for the course. And frankly, really,
It's par for the course. It's par for. This is not par for the course. It's not par from Dragon Ball Z course to have a trailer for your game that hasn't released yet and show the main mechanic of the game and then none of it be available in the game. That's not par for the course. Are you insane? Klaus Mystery, thanks to the 20 pesos. Loan sharks are main characters' managers in the game. Yes. Yes, they are. Poor.
quite tame in comparison to what Game Freak has done before. Not getting certain Megastones isn't ideal, but it's really not that big a deal. There's only a few that would be missing, and it's only really going to be for the collectors who really want them. Or
I'm
maybe
looking up
people
the definition of few, because I'm pretty sure that's an actual number. Few. No, it is just small. I don't know, 5 seems like a lot to me. Especially, it's not 5, it's 100% of all of the new megas shown in that direct. So, it's not just 5, it's 100%. If 100% are not in the game, that's a lot. I'd consider that a lot. A bit more than a few, a bit more. Nate Diaz, thanks for the $5. We need a Nintendo Cuck Holocaust. I agree. I love how you have to, what you have to do to get around this stuff. Very funny.
just love those Pokemon. But it also isn't the end of the world to just not.
Few usually means 3 to 9. So I guess 5's in there. But like I said, I like to think in percentages. So when you say, hey, we have our new trailer showing off of 5 new megas, and 100% are not available in the base game, I don't know, that sounds like a lot to me. That's a lot.
Not be able to get them. And again, this is a very tame example. Scarlet and Violet made you have to get both sets of DLC to be able to get Pecharunt. X and Y.
Oh my god, not Pecharunt!
Heck, version exclusive.
One whole Pokemon no one's ever fucking heard of.
With you, you'd be unable to get a Glameow if you bought Diamond. Take it from someone who knows.
What the
In that
fuck?
case,
Not a
you might as well
Glameow!
an entire game. That is
One
basically-
whole fucking Glameow that you could just trade someone for. God damn.
Same as the
It's
ones
over.
we have.
I didn't realize they were that bad. I couldn't get a whole ass Glameow.
Or go without. And that's for actual full Pokemon, not just alternate forms. Sure, you could trade them over if you have a nice friend, but you can likely do that with the Mega Stones too. You certainly could before. And that goes to the
don't
DLC
think-
Stones as well. When
Nick,
previous
Nick, our autist on demand. Can you trade Megastones? I don't think you can. Because you can only get one. Actually, I'm almost guaranteed you can't, because then you could permanently lose out on Megastones. So no, you can't. Dum-dum? What are you, stupid? What are you, an idiot? What are you, an idiot? You're a moron? Fucking dumb? Ooh, a text. I love text. It's not loading. Oh my god. Get owned, Thomas. I can't show that on stream. But get owned. Get fucking owned. Anyway.
games got updated for DLC compatibility, you're actually able to get Pokemon from it via trades. So I imagine the same will apply here, which is actually fairly pro-consumer, all things considered. And third versions are even worse. If you had Diamond and wanted to get your Shaymin in that awesome Sky form from the movie, nope. Out of luck. That's locked to Platinum. And Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, geez, that was the worst. Having Blacephalon, Stakataka...
Yeah, it's crazy how none of these things were revealed before the game came out. Can you imagine if they showed that, like, before even Diamond and Pearl? They're like, look at this cool-ass legendary. And even then, he's only giving one example compared to 5. Last time I checked, 1 is less than 5. In fact, it's 5 times less than 5. Isn't that crazy? That's how math works. Wouldn't that be nuts? If, like, you're like, oh, I can't wait for Diamond and Pearl. They're like, look at all this shit. It only in Platinum, though. Something that's not even out yet. I think people would be pretty pissed then, too.
Naganadel and Zeraora.
All right, Nick just tried. You cannot trade Megastones. Big surprise. You are dumb idiot. Proven live. You have been proven to be dumb idiot.
Locked to the Ultra games, whilst original Sun and Moon adopters were left out in the cold. That was way worse than what's happening here. Not just because it involves locking 5 dex entries rather than just forms, but because you can't get them in your Sun and Moon game via...
Actually, that is 5 dex entries. Dum-dum. Dum-dum. Megas have their own dex entries. Didn't see that one coming, did you, dum-dum? Haha, 5. 5 is equal to 5. And also, again, not announced before the game even fucking came out.
Trading. To this day, Zeraora is the only Pokemon I don't have the regular form of. I have the shiny, but I don't have regular Zeraora, and that's entirely because of how third versions were handled. And that's why the DLC age has been so much better. Because anything you can't get, you can find a way to get if you look in the right place.
No, you can't!
Heck, you don't need a
We just proved you're fucking wrong! Everything you're saying is a lie! Because you're dumb! And are incapable of seeing the future, unlike me, who we've proven has psychic powers. I'm using my psychic powers and Germans aren't white. Oh wait, that one's always been true. That's not the future either. Only Italians are white. Oh wait, that one's always been true too.
Subscription to home to use GTS, so you can get most Pokemon these days even without DLC, although that admittedly doesn't help much for the Megastones. And I want to once again point out, Nintendo don't make these games, so blaming Nintendo for this is weird. Sure, they set the price for NSO, but that package has so much value at this point for an incredibly low price that at this point it's an uphill battle to try and call that greed. And either way, does Game Freak, who, once again, are the ones making the games, actually benefit from Switch Online at all? I assume they don't get a cut of that, other than maybe a small one from the games.
Game Freak doesn't do shit. Game Freak doesn't give a fuck about anything. They wouldn't even make these games if they didn't have to. They don't give a fuck about Pokemon. None of this shit means anything to them. Are you truly implying that Nintendo has no influence on the Pokemon games at all? That's what you're implying. Zero. Not even one whole influence, however much that is. Okay. Okay, dum-dum. Okay. If you say so.
I doubt they have much incentive to push the online service that hard. They probably didn't think it was anything more than a fun way to offer out megas. Is it actually going to be?
Yeah, that's what they thought. Game Freak is known for doing things just to make the game better. They're like, yeah, this will be a much better game. It'll just be fun. To have the worst online mode I've ever seen in any game. This is asking everyone, by the way. I can't wait to talk to it in my, ZA 100% video. But nobody likes the fucking online. Maybe like there's one or two ludicrously autistic people, like the kind of people where you give them 300 numbers and they could rattle them all back to you. Like those kind of people might like the online. Every other person I've talked to, which at this point is like 10 people, has said that Pokemon ZA has the worst multiplayer they've ever played ever. But it's just a fun way to get megas. There's no ulterior motive at all. I can't imagine being that stupid to be completely unable to look past anything. Everything is surface value. Huh? Honk if I like pizza. I better honk. It says honk if I like pizza, and I like pizza. I need to honk. Truly a horrible way to live. Can you hear that? I don't know.
Fun? I don't know, but I don't think they had dollar signs in their eyes with that specific decision. With that said, would it be better if these were not locked behind ranked mode? Yes, obviously. I think it's a valid criticism. But when people say that this demonstrates that Nintendo are greedy or that they're evil, I'm like, no. It's at most a little bit annoying and kind of disappointing.
Maybe it's a valid criticism, but you were mean. You were mean to them. You can't be mean to them. That's not nice. I'm honking. Where's my pizza? I'm honking.
Pointing if you love one of those Pokemon. But it's not
what
worth
is
losing
video?
much.
You don't get to know, because you'll be mean. Also, you can fucking see it. But
There's probably ways around it anyway. I also want to make the case that this is likely going to affect very few people. The number of people who are in the very specific case that they are a massive fan of these Pokemon specifically, or want to 100% complete the game, but also don't own Nintendo Switch Online, is relatively low. Especially because people who are that obsessive about Pokemon...
Yeah, come on. Who would want... I love it. You have to be obsessive about Pokemon to be like, I love Greninja. I love Greninja. You have to be obsessive. You're a Pokemon autist... maximum obsession to think Greninja's kind of cool, right? You have to be an ultra uber mega fan to be like, I really like Greninja. No empathy. None. Zero. They're incapable of it because that would require having inner thoughts of some kind.
Subscription or are super into Nintendo stuff already to the point that they have already got the subscription.
Yeah, you have to be super into Nintendo. I just want to explain. I know I keep harping on it, but he said my video's badly edited, and he just keeps showing him failing the same challenge over and over again. At least show the time you succeed. You know why? It's come on.
Who the heck is buying Nintendo Switch Online just for Mega Chestnut? This is clearly a bonus for existing NSO members, and heck, again, I don't even think it's that because I doubt they really thought too much about the fact that you need to have NSO to do it. I imagine they just thought it would be a cool unlock incentive. Whether it is or not is another matter, but it's such a small issue that I can't imagine why it's getting this reaction. I also kind of get why people are more outraged about this than the deal.
I need to know. I need to know. How do these people, how do they go through their day to day? You genuinely don't see how a game that people already view as incomplete has cut content that is behind a paywall. You don't see how people would dislike that for some reason.
Because DLC in Pokemon games tends to be worth the price. But if the Mega Stones being
Dude, that's what I'm saying.
unattainable
Just
is
show the
biggest
clip
issue
of
the
you
game has,
winning.
winners
Why
will
is
tell you
look at
They're
it?
not
It's just
obtainable
him
in any other way.
failing.
Meaning they're also limited time.
And here we have another pretty understandable criticism. Yeah, being limited time kinda sucks. They did this with Walking Wake and Iron Leaves as well, and honestly, I actually missed them the first time around because I just
Who?
forgot. But Game Freak also recognizes this, which is why they offer it multiple times. I do
Yeah,
have
that way
Walking
you can
Wake and
pay
Iron Leaves
again
because
if you missed
eventually
it.
they came back around, so I was able to get them. So while they are limited time, you'll almost certainly be able to get them at a later date. Also, limited time distributions have existed since the dawn of the franchise. And again, for some of those, you had to buy a whole game that you either didn't actually want or that is basically the same as a game you already own. So it's not even like the price here is the problem. All that to say,
I've explained the problem a million times. Game shit. Game already shit. Already bad. Not enough stuff in it. You take stuff out of game that is shit and bad. Now it's even shittier and badder, or make them seem a little better.
isn't even a Nintendo developed game.
And God forbid you just don't like
What, are we dead? No. Vasad, why? We're back? What happened? What did we miss? Kobe cut the wires? We're back. Stream died. We're back. We're back. Masai, I gave him a call. They're like, Charlie Kirk's came back to life. You got to get his ass. I'm like, God damn it. Okay, fine. Even though he's a good Christian and has a good family, I'll get him a second time. They brought him back. They're like, Shenron! No, are we already gone again? What is the video's name? You don't get to know. Are we or are we not back? We are back. What am I voting on? Oh, I don't think it matters anymore.
ranked mode, you know, Pokemon, a baby game. Sorry, little Timmy, your favorite Mega for your favorite starter that you think is really cool, you just can't have it because you have to face against the 30-year-old virgin sweat lord whose soul is filled with plastic.
Okay, so a few things here. Yeah, again, tying it to a ranked mode could be a genuinely good criticism. I have no interest in ranked mode. The idea of having to do that is just a bit tedious to me. However, we also don't have any details.
That's why. It's because it's tedious. It's tedious. It's definitely not that you clearly suck at video games and we've watched you fail 900 times because you refuse to put any cuts in your video for some reason. But it's just because it's tedious. It's just tedious.
On what we actually have to do to get the stones. It could indeed be that we literally just have to participate.
Seeing the future, mirror, mirror, mirror. It's actually like the middle. It's the middle rank. It's the middle. It's in the middle.
A single time to get the Megastones. This criticism will feel a lot clearer when we actually have some details. But I also want to pick up on the kind of dumb presumptions he makes. Firstly, calling it a baby game. I know some people equate...
Motherfucker, if you don't think it's a baby game, you fucking baby. This is a baby game. It's made for babies. If a, toddler mashing on his control stick like this, if you can do this and beat the game, it's a baby game. That shit's a baby game. I like pizza. Honk, 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 honk. I like pizza.
bright colors with baby media, but Pokemon and actually a lot of Nintendo games are never designed to be for children specifically. Kids are a definite
It's a baby
consideration.
game.
They want to
The old games, I agree with you. The old games, I agree with you. It is baby game now. Baby game time.
make the game kid friendly because then they get the kid market. But have you seen how large the adult community for Pokemon actually
Yeah, I know. There are a lot of adults that act like children and have never grown up. There are a whole fucking lot of them. I'm looking at one right now. Not me. Wait, fuck. I'm looking at one right now. Don't point at me. Who do you think you are? I'm listening to one right now. How about that? I'm listening to one right now. Don't you point at me.
is? It's massive. And yes, Game Freak absolutely caters to that audience. Not just in the games, but in other media too. The games are given a lot of depth in terms of mechanics and options because that's what seasoned veterans want. It's why the competitive scene is so big. So assuming that it's just for kids...
No, the
is just
competitive
wrong.
scene is
Especially
big because there's money in it and there's a lot of autistic people. Like a lot of them.
this time around. Legends Arceus was notably definitely more of an attempt to hit a more mature audience. Not by making
Dog, all right. I know I'm pausing, but I need to find... Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You know that image where it's like SpongeBob and Patrick, and they're on the little bump that's like that? That's him. That's him. That's him. Being like, oh, it's mature. Look, I played a little bit, not the whole thing, but enough of Legends Arceus. I don't know if I'd call that mature. I don't... Like, if that's mature to you, what do you do when you watch actual adult media? Do you have, like, conniption? Do you cry? Are you scared and you cry?
Making a game that kids can't play, but certainly making one that hits a lot of the things that people want in a AAA game that adults play. It's certainly not.
Dog, what the fuck are you talking about? There is no goddamn person in this entire universe that thinks Pokemon Legend Arceus or ZA are AAA. 13 million. That was the budget. 13. AAA games is like 100 million. Delusional.
Close to that level yet. But Legends Arceus was a clear attempt in not just gameplay, but general tone and atmosphere to create a more mature Pokemon game. Legends ZA is essentially the follow-up to Legends Arceus, and appears to do a lot of the same things, taking on a version of the type of action-based gameplay that you would see in much more esteemed RPGs for adults. Again, ultimately they want to keep...
I genuinely think if this guy played, like, Dark Souls, or, fuck, dude, actually, I bet you he played Call of Duty, he would have nightmares for years. Not days, years, he would have nightmares. Adult games, you know, like Pokemon Legends ZA, the adult game. Dog, what are you talking about?
The kids around. But that's very clearly not their absolute priority with the Legends games. Also, little Timmy will be fine. What kid's favourite Pokemon is any of the Kalos ones? Greninja might have a shout, as it's always been popular, but we're closing in on a decade since Greninja was...
The fuck are you talking about? Ash Greninja? You're trying to tell me little Timmy didn't see Ash Greninja and is like, that's the coolest thing I've ever fucking seen? Fuck you, man. What do you think kids like? Dog shit?
Actually relevant to basically anything. I think it's safe to say most of the people who have fond memories of Greninja are probably in their late teens or 20s now. And
this is like peak autism, by the way, too, where it's like, well, I don't like the Kalos starters. That means nobody does. No child would ever like Greninja, because me, the obese autistic man, does not like Greninja.
and Chestnut have really just gotten nothing since their debut. Can I also just comment on the irony of spending 20 minutes complaining about Nintendo games and then calling other people virgin sweatlords? I mean, I know I'm not one to talk.
I speak the truth because it's true. It has nothing unrelated to any other thing. If you do not like the truth, that's on you, dog. That's on you. And thanks for the $5. My little brother, who had years-long nightmares after watching Karate Kid, is more mature. Also, I am sorry, but last donut. That's okay, brother. You don't have to donate anymore. That's funny, though. What about Karate Kid is scary? That's what I'm... It's a scary movie. My, little kid version of that is... I loved Fallout 3 as a kid. I'm like, Fallout 3 is the coolest shit ever. But I was too scared to play it. So I wanted Kobe to play it and me to watch. That's because I was too scared to play it myself. I wanted my brother. Even funnier, I bet Kobe's told this story. But I played one time and got our character over encumbered. I had no fucking idea what that word meant. And neither did Kobe. And I thought I broke the game or fucked up the character and we're just permanently slow forever. And finally, we ask our dad, and dad just makes fun of us. He's like, how do you not know what that means? Really? You don't know what that means? You don't know what over encumbered means? I was like, what? I was like 8. Very funny, though. Very funny.
But heck, I own it.
Remember when Pokemon games were $30, $40 for what I believe to be the best the series ever had to offer?
How do you have the gall to make this point while specifically showing Emerald?
Yeah, the greatest game. How dare you make this point while doing Emerald, the greatest Pokemon game? Come on, say it. Say it like how you're supposed to say it. How dare you make this point while showing Emerald, the greatest Pokemon game? How could I? How could I?
Ruby or Sapphire. You'd have to pay the same money again for basically the same game.
First of all, you say that to my face again, I'll fucking kill you. Basically the same game, you fuck. No, here's why. I said it many times, I'll say it another time again. Shit game, no complete, no good. Good game, great. Already complete, feels good. I'm willing to pay more for the same thing again, because the first thing was already so good.
Now, you can argue about the fact that the price was lower then, and you're not wrong. But I'd also argue that what you were getting for the price was not worth the value of paying the same price for basically the same game again. And while
Bro, imagine saying that's not worth the price, but Pokemon ZA, a $70 piece of shit that isn't worth the plastic it's printed on. Well, I guess the disc isn't plastic, but you know what I mean. No, that game's ass. It's ass. That's the problem. And it's always been the problem and always will be the problem. People would pay $500 for a good game, but they don't make them anymore. They just don't.
I'm no financial expert. I would absolutely imagine inflation accounts for at least part of the price increase. But I also feel like people don't acknowledge that Game Freak could still be doing that. They could still be releasing third versions that are the same price as the first games and make some alterations. But
I would
not
still
enough to
be.
justify
I'd be
the
fine
price.
with it if the games were
Arguably,
good.
The fact that games like Emerald
T
even
Chunga,
existed
thanks
was
for $2.
incredibly
Why don't you
anti-consumer,
complain about
and moving from that
wokeness in
towards
your
DLC was
vids?
pro-consumer. And heck, if you want to argue
Because I
that
don't really
DLC
care. I'm not really that much in. Unlike Kobe, I've played way too many indie games, so I'm like fucking blind to it. And the games that are like really bad about it, I just don't play. Like, I would never play fucking Dustborn. I would never play Assassin's Creed. I would never play God of War. I would just never play those fucking games because they're dog shit. Like, there's no universe. Like, I didn't like the first God of War because they made Kratos a fucking pussy. You know? So, like, if you play the second God of War and they're like, oh my god, it's woke, it's like, what the fuck did you expect, dog? The first one was already, they ruined his character. They made him a pussy. You should have known, oh, they're gonna make him, they already made Kratos a soy boy liberal in the first game. So what the fuck do you think was gonna happen in the second game, right? Also, I just like baby games. I'm a big baby game fan.
is just a sign that the games were unfinished on launch. So are third versions. Heck, so is Emerald specifically. Viewing Emerald as an example of good consumerism is, well, most...
It's not an example of good consumerism. It's an example of a good game, which is all anyone wants. You can do your shitty, greedy shit if you make something good. But the problem is they're doing the shitty, greedy shit at the expense of an already bad game. It's already bad, and you're making it worse. Greninja was voted as the most popular Pokemon in the entire franchise. Yeah, but no one likes Greninja.
Nostalgia. But it's also just a symptom of not understanding what third versions even were, and not understanding that the game only existed because they knew they could have gotten away with charging people for a game twice, while actually only really offering one game. This is what I'm saying. The logic isn't consistently applied here. That's what bugs me more than anything. And before
I'm
you try
applying
to
it
claim
very
they didn't lock any
consistently.
Pokemon
You're
forms away
just
from you in
retarded.
Emerald. Yes, they did. Gen 3 specifically locked forms of Deoxys to specific games, and there was no way to trade them in either.
No! Not forms of Deoxys. No! I couldn't get every form of Deoxys. No.
Again, that was
And in order to get it, you'd have to buy one of the greatest Pokemon games ever made? No! Not play one of the greatest Pokemon games ever made. How dare you make me do that?
definitely worse than what we have here.
Who knows? They might have cut out
That's
10
how the fuck is that worse? Based on what?
20 new Mega Evolutions just to feed to you later. A slow drip of deliberately cut content just to keep you paying. This is something that was so universally hated that even EA gave up on it. Nintendo is objectively a more anti-consumer company than EA.
Okay, I'll admit, I've genuinely not been keeping up with what EA has been doing, but if the idea is that cut content as DLC is a strategy, it still presupposes that the DLC is cut content. And given that...
it's in the game already. You can see it. I mean, I just mentioned the 5 megas or whatever. They're already, the leaks, some of these were out before, in the beta, they already existed.
Via the Terra leak, we know ZA was meant to release last year, but was delayed to come to Switch 2. We know the game has been finished for a while. The main game, that is. They've likely spent the last year working on...
Brother, if the main game has already been finished for a while, then the DLC already exists. It already exists.
Switch 2 enhancements, as well as the DLC.
ZA. Yeah, I love ZA. ZA.
That long working on the DLC means it's probably close to completion, but it was always likely planned as DLC, and so they'll sell it as DLC because...
Well, yeah, of course it was planned as DLC. Why would you put everything you possibly could in a game? Sakurai, why would you possibly put everything you could in a game? Why would you do your best? Why would you make the fans as happy as possible? Why would you try and make a truly complete product? Why would you do that? I don't understand. The chart says you don't have to do that.
I mean, I imagine their budget for the main game and the DLC accounts for the fact that they'll be releasing the DLC as DLC. They would legitimately be cutting their feet from under themselves by deciding to just make it base game.
They would cut their feet. The Pokemon is the most valuable IP on the planet. They could make 50 losses in a row. 50 games that don't sell in a row and be perfectly fine. But they'd be cutting their feet under themselves if they were to put the DLC in the main game. Think of how much money they would lose. Dude, how are you this fucking pathetic? That you're making the argument Think of how much money the billion-dollar corporation would lose if they did the right thing. You're just not thinking.
Content. But also, isn't the main issue with EA the aggressive use of microtransactions, particularly loot boxes that promote gambling, as well as releasing a game that is basically the same every year with new 3D models for...
Brother, do I look like the motherfucker who cares about FC 26, whatever the fuck that stands for? Football Cup? Is it Football Cup? I don't give a fuck about that. At no point have I ever given a fuck about that.
New players, the latter of which is basically what games like Emerald and Platinum used to do. None of that is relevant to Game Freak.
All right,
Hey,
motherfuckers just delusional. There's that you can't talk to delusional people.
Relatively
You just can't.
unprompted as well. They tried it out and then made an actively pro-consumer decision that honestly made the game better. Nintendo does not belong in the same breath as EA.
Pro-consumer. Wait. I need to rehear. Maybe I didn't listen. What the fuck?
And then made an actively pro-consumer decision that honestly made the game better to Game Freak or Nintendo. Heck, Nintendo actively decided to remove gacha elements from Mario Kart Tour, relatively unprompted as well. They tried it out and then made an actively pro-consumer.
Bro, that's just because it didn't make enough money. Fire Emblem still has the gotcha shit in it. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? The only reason they did that is because it didn't make enough money.
Decision that honestly made the game better. Nintendo does not belong in the same breath as EA, when their biggest crime is that they charge a lot of money for stuff. Objectively,
what do you mean? That's the only fucking... Turn on subtitles? I mean, I can. Oh, you can't understand
British.
British.
Just Pokemon we're talking about.
Once again, keep in mind, not actually Nintendo.
Donkey Kong Bonanza, I liked it. It was fun, but it spent 2 months.
I'm sorry. If 1/3 isn't Nintendo, then I don't know. But nothing is then. Nothing's Nintendo. Kirby Air Riders isn't technically Nintendo. Guess it's not Nintendo.
And we already have DLC. But surely it's something unique, a new spin on the
He
formula.
missed a
No, it's
coin
another
to get
roguelike.
us.
And it's not even a good one, and they put no effort into this.
Bonanza is one thing I won't contest. That was a poor showing.
Yeah,
The
how
DLC
long
doesn't
have we
appear to
been
have more
watching
depth to
him
it than we
fail
first
at this
thought. But honestly,
one task
it seems to be
over and
more
over
akin to
again?
Luigi's Balloon World than anything, so I don't feel comfortable saying that charging $20 for it is worth it. This is absolutely something I think is worth complaining about, even if, as someone who wasn't as into Bonanza as everyone else, I was not interested in DLC
still can't
even
do
if it was good. I don't have a rebuttal to this point, I just wanted to point out that this is the kind of thing that the criticism should have been focused around if this video had to exist at all.
Yeah, because you know. You know. Clearly, you really know what's up. What I should have been talking about. You stupid motherfucker. Why don't you look? Why don't you feel shame? Why don't these people feel shame? I would feel shame. I would.
I know there has to be at least a couple developers who still care at Nintendo, but the higher-ups are like, no, you have to make DLC, and you have a month to do it. So you either cut it out of the main game, or you make some worthless crap that is blatantly low effort.
Okay, I wanted to give Frogmire a win and get past the Bonanza section without cutting in, but what are you talking about?
What do you mean, what am I talking about? I'm fucking right, stupid.
I want to make that clear, but I think I have more credentials than a guy who genuinely thinks they spent a month on this. All evidence.
Were you not listening to a word I said, dum-dum? You're too stupid. That's the problem. If you're a little bit smarter, this wouldn't be an issue, but you're too stupid. I literally said, or cut from the main game. And since you can't make it in 2 months, then obviously it was cut from the main game. Dum-dum. Square going square hole. Circle going circle hole. I know, very complicated.
Points to the Switch 2 having been delayed for a year, and games like Bonanza would have been the games it got early on. So what we have as DLC has probably been worked on for a fair amount more time than a month. And do you think they work on the game?
Hence why it was cut from the main game. Incredible! Whoa, you got there! You're really a super genius, dude. Aren't you proud of yourself?
Up until it launches, and only start working
Honk
on
if you
DLC
like pizza! Everyone honk! Pizza! Yay! Pizza! Yay! Honk if you like pizza!
After that, my assumption is that the game is mostly done months before it launches, and then they have to start finalizing things like the marketing and shipping, as well as bug fixes. And I'd assume that during this process, the DLC would be worked on. So in the end, DLC almost always gets a lot of work done before the game even releases. And that's...
He's like almost thinking. You can tell he's like almost getting there, but he just can't. He can't, because if he ever reached the actual logical endpoint of what he's saying, then it would mean Nintendo bad, which he can't do. That one's impossible. It's impossible for him to ever get there.
Still doesn't mean it could have been in the base game, because they would have to push the game release back because it will change when they can start marketing and shipping the game, or that they've already shipped the game by the time they finish the DLC. And yes, what we got is still...
I know, these people are really fucking dumb, but let's assume you're right, and they couldn't possibly get this part of the game in on time. You do realize the Switch 1 had free content updates for almost every one of its games because they couldn't finish the games on time? Do you just forget that happened? Are you too dumb? No object permanence? Huh? No memory? Holes in the mold holes? I have those. Do you have them too?
pitiful even considering that. But the fact that an inaccurate claim is being used as the basis of a larger claim that Nintendo forces DLC to be made in a month is just
Stop failing the fucking challenge! Do it right one fucking time!
right. Criticize the DLC.
Dude, it's not an inaccurate statement that you're stupid. Like, if you can't figure it out, that's because you're dumb. It's not the statement's inaccurate.
Then use that as a stick to beat Nintendo with when it's almost certainly unrelated. Nintendo can and has done excellent DLC for many of their games. This is one of the bad examples, but there are plenty of good examples.
Name one.
Speaking of low effort, the Switch 1 had its library artificially
Maybe that's
inflated
one. That
by
one had
Wii
pretty
U
good
games
DLC.
re-released on the Switch. This worked and people were okay with it because nobody bought a Wii U, so they felt like new games. Plus, the games got some improvements, they ran a little better, looked a little better. It was a pretty good deal. Now they're trying to do the exact same thing with the Switch 2. The difference is, everyone already owns a Switch 1.
Does this guy even understand the Switch 2 editions at all? I don't want to put words in his mouth, which is why I played that entire pretty long clip, but I can't see any way to read what he's just said other than that he believes that to get the additional content and improvements of the Switch games, you have to buy the entire Switch 2 version. The whole thing, the full price game.
I'm gonna break it down real slow for you, dum-dum. Real fucking slow! The Switch 2 upgrades, they cost $10. Actually, I think some of them are even $20. Don't remember. But they cost money if you already have the Switch 1 version. In almost every other Nintendo console, you could just backwards play, right? If you had your 3DS, you could just play DS games, the games you already own, for free. You didn't have to pay anything. I know, crazy. So, to justify this, they make dog shit add-ons, where they're like, oh, this is Switch 2 Plus, which means it has stupid Mario Party has like the fucking camera mode where it's like, ooh, we have mini games, but you can use the camera, and it is complete dog shit and is worth nothing. No, if it was DLC, no one would ever pay for it, but you're being forced, you're being upselled, right? Nobody actually wants, no one's paying the $10 for this extra content that's super important. They're paying the $10 because it's the only way to play it on Switch 2. A game, the Switch 2 has a Switch 1 emulator on it, right? Right? Everyone knows, right? So it shouldn't exist, right? These are free updates that the Switch 1 had done for every one of its games, except now it's not free anymore. Because it's not real content. They're just making you buy it.
Let me make entirely clear. If you own Super Mario Bros.
Breath of the Wild 2 Switch 2 edition doesn't even have the DLC included. Like, it's not even like a complete edition. Fucking Mario Kart World Deluxe at least had all the fucking Mario Kart DLC.
$1 on the Nintendo Switch, and you decide to go and buy the Nintendo Switch 2 edition separately so you can play it with the improvements on Switch 2, you have no one to blame but yourself. The Switch 2 editions are pretty easy to
improvements
understand.
that you should not have to pay
you can
for.
buy the Switch 2 edition, but if you do own the original, then you can purchase the additional content for around $10 to $20 and download it like you would
I was
DLC,
right. It does go up to
because
$20.
that's what they are.
$20 for
DLC.
dog
Better
shit
than
no one
half
would
for
ever
Super Mario
pay
Bros.
for
1
in the
that is
right
DLC.
fucking mind.
And you can't claim it's cut content this time because it's releasing over 2 years after the game release.
Yeah, it's
If you want to
dog
get this
shit. It's
content,
nothing,
you're
dude.
just basically
You know,
buying
the
DLC.
fucking Mario Party one, which costs $20, it's not even integrated with the main game. So all of these, like, mini games that use the camera and shit, another peripheral you have to buy, by the way. It's not even integrated with the main game. So you have to play only the camera mini games, and they're all dog shit and nobody likes them. So no one's ever going to play that mode. They're just going to play the main mode. So you're literally spending $20 for nothing, something you're never going to use, but you have to do it if you want the Switch 2 version of the game.
And the overall package is more expensive, yes, but it includes the added DLC content. Frogmire seems to have some amount of disdain for the Wii U port, but what they're doing here is actively more pro-consumer because it means we don't have to buy the entire game again to get the improvements. Back on the Switch, they released...
No, what it means is they don't have to actually put the value that they did before, right? I mean, that's the real answer. Also, again, like I said, most people were buying those games, didn't have them anyway.
Tournament DX. I hated this because it had Darkrai in it, one of my favourite Pokemon, and I would have
God,
loved to
Darkrai.
play as the other arcade exclusive
I love
fighters, as well as
Darkrai.
Decidueye. But that amount of content for the price of an entire game is just not worth it. This was made even worse by the fact that they also added DLC. Now I was missing actually quite a lot of content that wasn't in the Wii U edition, but I couldn't justify buying it because it was still not worth the price for what I was getting. This is honestly just stupid. I always wished they would have done a Wii U DLC that would have added those extra characters. I would have happily paid that because it means I get to play...
Well, the problem is no one's going to play the Wii U version, right? Admittedly, you're never going to you're never going to get me defending the Switch 1 that much because I'm going to be honest, I didn't like the Switch 1 that much either. I mean, the Switch 2 I definitely dislike way more, but I don't think the Switch was that great of a generation anyway. What I said, I think it's in this video, but I think Nintendo went downhill since Iwata died. Like, the moment he died, everything started going downhill.
the characters, but without essentially buying a game I already had again. What they're doing on Switch 2 is basically that, and I think it's fantastic. It's breathing new life into old games, but without reselling us what we already own.
It's
I
bringing
can't
new
see the
life into
downside
old
here.
games.
Some of them don't add much, but almost every single one adds visual and performance improvements, as well as at least...
Yes, that's on a new console. First of all, I said this in the video. Actually, I think he gets to that
feature,
anyway.
Be
I'll
that
wait.
mouse mode for Metroid Prime 4, the Nintendo app connectivity for the Zelda game, or a new mini-campaign like Kirby and the Forgotten Land. The only one that seems like it doesn't do that is, ironically, Legend ZA. It's just a performance and visual boost, as far as we can tell, and all the other updates that only do that are free, so why is this different? That, I think, is worth criticizing, and yet frogmire doesn't seem to realize this is a thing, and I don't get why. Well, I think I do. I think he's reacting to things on a very surface-level way, and isn't actually looking...
This motherfucker saying that I am surface level is actually psychotic. The guy refuses to look into anything past, like, the first step of mental retardation.
into anything deep enough to understand it.
Frogmire.
He wants to hate it,
Frogmire.
and he wants to drive engagement by hating it, and this is why I really hate this type of criticism. I am a Nintendo fan. I love to be in the Nintendo communities and talk about things.
I
That comes with
believe
the
you.
good and the bad.
I
do
believe
lean on
you.
positivity most of the time, but if I don't like something, I will complain about it. I complain plenty about Mario Kart World, for example, and I'm a massive Mario Kart fan. But because I don't have it in my head that Nintendo is evil and that I want to hate them, I will usually just not care about the more sensational things people complain about. I feel like a lot
Dude, you've lost all ability to be
of
taken.
it is just much more grounded in something a little more reasonable. I know that comes across as a bit of a snobby or even gatekeeping
No,
thing to say, but it feels like
Kobe! What are you doing? That is killing my internet. We're back. Kobe's chewing on the cables. He's downloading too much food. I don't know. What else could it be?
Be just pissing. I'm not doing anything with the internet.
Are you pissing on the Ethernet? Why are you pissing on the Ethernet? Piss somewhere else.
there's a definite difference in the way
Terabytes
that we
of food.
criticize the game, and it isn't in any way to do with the criticism I have being lesser in some way.
I would
It
bet
is.
my life
It is
that the Switch
lesser.
2
I wasn't
will
paying
never sell
attention,
more
but
than the
whatever
Switch
it
1
is, it
did.
is
So these
lesser.
aren't new games for anybody.
You realize that the higher selling Switch 1 game doesn't have even a 50% attach rate, right? There's always a market for older games. These are new for some people.
Bro, you are fucking psychotic if you think the people buying the Switch 2 are the super fans. I said it, actually, I think I get to it in a second. I don't know, maybe cut that part. But the Switch 2 will never sell more than the Switch 1. It is never going to happen. Ever. Ever. Ever.
We take it for granted as terminally online weirdos, but not everyone follows what is happening with Nintendo all the time. It's perfectly possible, hell, likely even, that there are millions and millions of people who do not know what a Kirby and the Forgotten
This is
Man
what I'm talking
is,
about.
and never knew this
Dog,
was
you're
being
fucking
released.
delusional.
So given the game DLC,
The people
means there are
buying the
probably
Switch
people who were
2
caught in the net this time
are
around. It gives more
psychotic
people a
Nintendo
chance to buy a
fans.
game that would
Normal
otherwise be
people
hard to buy.
just think,
And
well, I
again,
already
as
have a
this is
Switch.
essentially DLC,
Or
they
they're
can
like,
still
why don't I
make a
buy
decent
just
return on
the
it from
Switch?
people who
That one
just buy the
seems
update,
cheaper.
which they absolutely will. And of course there will be
I know,
people who
dude, this
buy the
guy's
Switch.
DS
The console
being
was
so
incredibly
fucking
successful,
hard.
but there are
And
billions
it's
of
like
people who
actually
didn't buy it.
distracting
And
how
many of those
bad he
people
is.
aren't ever going to be in the market for
Like,
a game
what are you
console, but there will
doing,
probably be
dog?
At least a few million who will.
So you're paying more for a game you already have for content you don't want if you have any brain at all, just so you can have any game to play at all on your new console. Because the Switch 2 has no games.
It's funny to
It's
try
true.
and use the Uno reverse card on the PS5 has no games joke because we are 3 months in and Nintendo
Bro,
has
that's not
already
Uno
launched
reverse
4
card.
first-party games.
No
if you don't include
games
Switch
has
2
been
editions.
said about
Now,
many
granted,
consoles
that does
many
include
times.
Drag X Drive and Welcome Tour,
Including
which,
this
while solid
one,
for what they
which it
are
is.
not system sellers, and
Wait.
Mario Kart
I'm sorry, I was talking over him. I think I might have heard the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
while solid for what they are not system sellers.
Wait.
Months in, and Nintendo has already launched 4 first-party games if you don't include Switch 2 editions. Now, granted, that does include Drag X Drive and Welcome Tour, which, while solid for what they are not system
Drag X Drive and Welcome Tour, the Switch 1 manual you have to pay for, are not system sellers, but are solid for what they are. Those are real games. One of which is a multiplayer only game that nobody plays. Nobody. So you can't even get in a game because it's complete dog shit. And the other is a manual for a console that costs money. How could no one, not in 10 million years, could anyone take you seriously on anything you say when you say shit like this? Like, you've already said some real dumb shit, but that might be the worst one. That might actually be the worst one. Matt Tiggy, thanks for the $2. Most people are DSPs. It's just DSP, a dented subhuman. It's true, though. That's absolutely true. DSP tournament soon-ish. I don't know. I'm working on it. Working on it.
System sellers, and Mario Kart World was disappointing. But the entire point of that meme is that the PS5 didn't just not have very good games. It actually
what were I didn't listen to what the other two were.
Mario Kart World was disappointing. But the entire point of that meme is that the PS5 didn't just bounce in, and Nintendo has already launched 4 first-party games if you don't include Switch 2 editions. Now, granted, that does include Drag X Drive and Welcome Tour.
Okay, so 2 that do not count. That absolutely do not count. If you count those, then you count literally, then Astrobot's playthrough, or Playroom, whatever the fuck it was, counts as like 20 games.
Which, while solid for what they are not system sellers, and Mario Kart World was disappointing. But the entire point of that meme is that the PS5...
Wait, you only named 3. He said, what's the 4th one? Chat, he only named 3. What's the 4th one? The wheelchair basketball game was first party? That it was. It was first party. Something worse than probably any indie game ever. By the way, when Pokemon held another popularity contest in 2020, Greninja won it again. Yeah, okay, so Greninja's one of the most popular Pokemon of all time, but nobody likes it. Yeah, so fucking delusional. 1 game, what's the 1 that we're missing? He said 3. Mario Kart World was disappointing. Yeah, so he's named 2 things that aren't even video games. 1 that turned out to be complete dog shit. And then he said there's a 4th one. Oh, does he mean DK Bonanza, maybe? So 1. I like DK Bonanza, so 1. 1 game is not very many. If you were to say a console had 1 game, I'd be upset. I even own fucking Mario Kart World, and I haven't even started it, because it's dog shit. I don't care.
Didn't just not have very good games. It actually had no games. Or rather, any game they have on their system is available to play on some other platform. Due to the Switch 2 editions, Nintendo get held up by that a little bit as well. But we already know that the system is going to get Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, Mario Tennis Fever, Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, Kirby Air Riders, and Pokopia.
Oh, yeah. First of all, half the shit does not count. Poctopia? It's not a fucking video game. It's not. It's not. You can't convince me. And if they do not exist, then they do not exist. Them's the rules. If it do not exist, it do not exist. So, sure, maybe Prime 4 ends up being the greatest game ever made. I don't believe it. It probably won't be. But we'll just have to see. But right now, Switch 2 ain't got no fucking games. 1. It has 1 worth playing. And it's not even that worth playing.
And are going to be releasing within the next, 6 months? That is games, all of which are releasing only on the Nintendo Switch 2. And
they do not exist. Games that do not exist do not exist.
There are also third-party exclusives. When you add in things like the Switch 2 edition...
No one's buying fucking third-party shit. Don't you fucking lie. They've never sold on Nintendo, and they never will.
Things like the Virtual Boy...
And if you play a third-party thing on Nintendo, you are dumb. You are dumb. They just run better on everything else. Maybe if it's all you have.
Switch Online games, the amount of content the Switch 2 is actually going to have exclusive.
Yeah, he did do it. Yay, he did it. Yay, everyone's like, yay.
It's so much that I even mentioned in my video about my thoughts on the Direct that I had to abandon my far-fetched dream of buying and being able to review every Switch 2 game because there's just too much stuff there. The Switch 2 not having games is just a disingenuous claim. And only
my God, he didn't get... Dude, he couldn't... There were just too many games. He couldn't possibly have the time to review Welcome Tour, a manual that you could play in 10 minutes. The wheelchair basketball game. Now, the person who made this video is clearly crippled, so they would do a great job of that game. Another game you could review in probably 10 minutes, because that's how much content the game has, is 10 minutes. Given its multiplayer-only gimmick shit game that nobody plays. Number 3, Mario Kart World, the thing he's playing right now, and Bonanza. Again, Mario Kart World, the open world has no content at all. It's just a shitty mini. Actually, if you fail as much as this guy does, maybe it will take you 100 hours to review Mario Kart World. But Mario Kart World takes basically no time at all to review, given it's just racing against CPUs, which once you've done one time, you understand every other time. And a completely empty open world with nothing to do, right? So that's another one. We'll be generous. I'll say 2 hours. You do another 2 hours. And then Donkey Kong Bonanza, which is the first real game, but is also really short. It's not a long game. But there's just too many. There's too many. Even though there's really only one.
Switch 2 in the same way the PS5 has been undermined. Only the PS5 kinda earned that title, and the Switch 2 has only just launched and already has so much promise in terms of exclusive content.
I guess the only real selling point is that the games run better, which really shouldn't be a selling point. You know, games used to run good on the console they came out for, always. Since when was a game supposed to come out and run badly? And be like, man, I sure hope they release a new console so the game I bought for my console I already own can actually run.
Again, a good point, if you could ignore that it usually isn't the only real selling point, but I do think it's worth noting.
Is it the only selling point? What do you mean? What's the other selling point? Again, it's the dog shit upgrade that doesn't do anything.
Of being able to be played in handheld mode does heavily affect how much you can.
No, it fucking doesn't. No, it doesn't. Fucking, it doesn't. Stop lying to me. 3DS games ran fine. DS games ran fine. GBA games ran fine. If you make the game for the console, it should run well. I don't care what you have to do to make it run. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is the most unoptimized game ever. You give like one autistic guy, a year with it, he could probably make it run perfectly on a fridge, smart fridge.
A game to be able to run on what is essentially a high-end tablet. But with that said, developers should always optimize for the system they're developing for. So it is actually kind of a fair criticism regardless.
It's only kind of fair. It's kind of fair to say a game should run properly. It's kind of fair. You're not being totally fair. It really isn't totally fair to say that a game should run. This is how fucking insane these people are. They think it's only kind of fair to want a game that runs.
The solution has been to make sure to include more than just performance upgrades if they expect you to buy the upgrade. Again, usually. It should also be noted that Nintendo games themselves don't tend to have performance issues. They usually have a very stable frame rate, with the Zelda games of the Switch being some of the rare exceptions because they are just kinda insane. But most other examples of Nintendo games with performance issues aren't actually developed by Nintendo.
What the fuck are you talking about? Can anyone name one that does run that well? I feel like nothing runs that. Odyssey ran fine, I think.
Odyssey
ran stable. Maybe that's what he means. Yeah, like it's a stable 15. Because even none of the Zelda games do. None of the Zelda games run great. Pokemon obviously runs bad. The fucking 2D Zelda one ran like shit. The fucking 2D Zeldas didn't run well.
Great on the Switch. They just gave it even more of a bump on Switch 2. And they did it for
Sonic
free
06
because
ran
they
well,
didn't add anything else.
I mean, the optimization has gotten so
this is a
bad
good
that
one.
remakes run worse than their original game. Paper Mario in the Thousand Year Door on the GameCube runs at 60 frames per second. And then on the Switch, with its big new remake, runs at 30. What is going on? Why are people okay with this?
Because 30 FPS is largely fine. Games
what?
Are perfectly fun.
Dog, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, if you're watching a fucking movie. Man. I will play a game that runs 30, and I will feel fine. But to say that it's fine, that there's no problem with it, are you insane? Dude, there are competitive people who play games competitively, will not play a game at under 144 frames per second. At 30, no problem. The real problem is that the original game was at 60, something objectively smoother. It's objectively smoother. And they cut it in half. In half. Brother. And our thanks for the $2. Super Mario 64 ROM hackers and MC modders redoing the code bases. Yeah, dude, Kaze is crazy. That dude's crazy. Kaze would blow his own brains out if you told him this. If you told him he blows brains out, you'd be like, you can't say that. You can't 30 frames per second. What are you talking about? Mario Tennis Aces runs well. That's good. That just spiked your blood pressure. Yeah, no, dude, that's fucked, dude. You can't say... Again, he's unbiased, dude. I'm really unbiased.
At 30 FPS. 60 is better, but I feel like it isn't really necessary. And they probably went for great visuals over hitting 60 FPS, which I feel is a fine trade-off. But again, this is a fair criticism.
And it's not a trade-off, you dipshit. No one else has this problem of making a baby game. Do you really think Paper Mario, those visuals they're just too high fidelity, dude? Those flat planes are too high fidelity to get 60 FPS. What are you, insane? Dude, come on.
Don't agree with it, but unlike a lot of other stuff he says, I can't say this is wrong. The level of anger it triggers feels unreasonable, but the actual criticism feels sound.
Now, I would never do this.
everything else is sound. Yeah. I just realized, look at how zoomed in this is. I didn't unzoom it.
Hearing from a friend, but don't you think it's insane that a video game that is made for a specific console runs on an emulator better than the console it was made for?
I don't know why we're trying to compare likely a gaming PC to a Switch. I don't know.
I've seen this comment before. I don't know how fucking young are... This guy isn't young. He's just stupid. But how young are you people? You do realize fucking NES emulators used to run like ass. Like, an NES emulator, like, only 5 years ago used to run bad. You know? The emulator itself takes resources. You're mimicking physical hardware with software. That's insane that it runs better than the thing it was literally built for. Like, yeah, dude, N64 emulators still run badly sometimes. They can't even get a PS4 emulator to work on much stronger computers. Like, it is incredibly surprising that something would run better on an emulator than on the actual console it was built for. How can you... Again, he says, oh man, he doesn't look at anything he has no... How can you be that fucking stupid to have no idea how an emulator works?
Much about emulation, but I assume that having a really strong PC is...
I'm glad he admitted. I have no idea what emulation is. You just put the game in the computer and it works. That's all you do. You put the game in the computer's stronger than Switch, therefore it works. God, you're a fucking idiot.
To make games run quite smoothly compared to the Switch, which has to try and be
Sega Saturn emulators only now work.
But I don't think anyone can
this
argue
year,
that the Switch wasn't the right way to go. For
that's
Nintendo
what I'm talking
and
about. This is
consumers
like
alike, for so many
baffling
reasons
that it runs better on
emulator.
emulator.
Right now, because I want
Baffling.
this video to end at some point. The Switch was never going to be able to run every game flawlessly because it is relatively weak. Emulation would always be able to do this better, and optimization is partially to blame for this. But
emulation was always going to be able to do this better. You're so fucking stupid, dude. So dumb. Oh, I guess my computer's just weaker than a Sega Saturn. That's what it is. My computer's weaker than a Sega Saturn. He missed the P button twice.
It's just weird that we're comparing it to emulation when emulation doesn't have the burden of being a handheld console that holds it back in so many ways.
It literally does. You do realize the emulator has to mimic the hardware. It mimics the hardware with software. I mean, that's already fucking insane just saying it out loud.
But again, the benefits of the Switch form factor outweigh the disadvantage of being less powerful.
But no, keep being a sheep. Eat all of the slop. Buy the old game for the new console because you have to fill that hole in your soul with something. You have to spend money to distract yourself from your worthless life.
Here we go. Now we're getting into the meat and potatoes.
Ooh, we got him mad.
Ooh,
we got him mad.
Sad loner who has to rely on these things to distract me from the I must clearly be feeling.
Yeah.
For some people that might be
yeah.
Some people,
Get owned.
Add some value into
Get
lives
owned,
that
pussy.
have going on. And
pussy.
That's the of either a society that hates them or some pretty severe mental health issues. But whichever it is, it's really off base for this guy to be trying to demean those struggles. And I know that this is...
Look at me! Look at me! Look at me! If you need to buy and play shitty Nintendo games to feel better, you're a fucking loser! Fuck you! I don't like you! You suck! Get owned! Get fucking owned!
just meant to be an inflammatory tactic to undermine anyone who wants to argue against him. But I don't think that changes that it's a really awful argument to make. I don't currently suffer with poor mental health, and
it's awful. Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
you fucking do. There's no fucking way you don't. Don't you fucking lie to me. Pizza! Wait. Pizza! Pizza! Honk! Honk if you like pizza! Honk! Don't you fucking lie to me. I'm sure you have more mental illnesses than most people have children. Actually, right now is 0, unfortunately. But it should be 2.
Pretty good life. Video games just kind of enhance it. But I know a lot of people who do struggle with mental health issues, and I also know that for many of them, yeah, video games can be a source of comfort or escape. There's nothing wrong with that, and you blaming them for the...
If you like dog shit because you are sad, I don't like you. Get fucked, dweeb. How about that? Get fucked, dweeb. You should like good things. When you're sad, you should be like, man, I am bad. Therefore, I want something good to even it out and make me feel better. If you like dog shit, that's on you, dog. You suck.
The fact that you can't pay bottom dollar for your video games is just a horrible thing to do, even if you don't mean it. I know I would probably get...
I mean it. I fucking mean it. I promise you I mean it. Oh, I fucking mean it.
Called a snowflake for this point, but that's about the most ineffective insult a person can use.
Yeah, breakers. Breakers. I am thinking of breakers. Fuck you, Kobe! Fuck you!
And frankly, someone getting offended by DLC is just so much more snowflakey.
You have to spend money to distract yourself from...
Snowflakey. I didn't even bring up snowflakey. It's so, like, deep in their fucking psyche, dude. I have, like, a fucking secret for you guys. Super, super secret Devin technique. If someone makes you mad, don't let them know. Don't let them know.
too bad. I always let him know.
I know.
Man.
Charcoal, thanks for the $5. Why is literally every YouTuber with a high-pitched, squeaky British voice insanely blue-pilled? Because the British aren't people. They aren't. They aren't. Why are you touching me?
Yes.
Uh,
The guy, I'm Lord Frogmire's good buddy, as he says.
not anymore. I don't like you anymore. You suck.
I'm a bad buddy,
Yeah,
not a good one.
we hate him. And
Did he
wasp
say
spotted.
snowflake? I thought
Yes.
I heard that. Dude,
Yeah.
why do they? Dude,
Dude, it's got them so bad. Yeah, like it. That's what I said. I'm like, literally, if something gets you, don't admit to it. But it's like when you use it all the time like that, we know it makes you mad.
Yeah, I know. It is weird that they just kind of stole that insult and have been projecting with it for like 10 years now.
Yes,
It feels like.
dude, because it got him. It really got him. That's what I'm saying. At no point do I mention snowflake or whatever, and yet still, it's like permanently in their head, rent free forever.
From your worthless life, who needs any kind of self-respect when you have Bing Bing Wahoo?
The irony is that he's
That
the
was
one
a
that
good
needs
line.
Bing Bing Wahoo to... Okay, I don't feel comfortable claiming his life to be worthless, but I hope the point is obvious. It's clear
He's hitting me with the no you. I'm not mad. You're mad. That's why I made an hour and 22-minute video. I'm not mad. You're mad.
projection. He's making a 20-minute video because he doesn't like that he has to pay
Hour and 20. Hour and 20. Just saying. You must really like me then. Maybe you're projecting.
for Super Mario Bros. Wonder DLC. I don't really see where he gets off talking about other people's lack of self-respect. I played Pokemon Violet and had a great time with it. Not my favorite Pokemon.
Well, that's why you have no self-respect. No, I actually also liked Scarlet and Violet. No, you have no self-respect because you like dog shit. You defend a billion-dollar company. You're completely delusional. You make an hour and 22 minutes of fucking the worst edited shit anyone's ever seen while you're failing at the same challenge over and over and over again, and yet you call my editing bad. That's why I say you have no self-respect and that you're pathetic and dumb, and I don't like you.
Game, and I had criticisms, but it was well worth my purchase.
Yeah, it really
Why
is. I don't care, bro. Makes movie-length video.
does me buying and enjoying a game constitute lack of self-respect? Because it means I have no standards in games?
Yes.
That's not true. My standards are
It
just
is true.
different and
No,
aren't
you
based
don't.
around visuals
They're
or
not
performance,
different.
unless it feels
You
important
are
to the
just a
experience,
dweeb.
which it doesn't for a turn-based RPG. And that's just a really gatekeepy thing to say. You have no
Not gatekeeping. No! Don't gatekeep. What do you think gates are for, dum-dum? You just let anyone into your house? I bet you do, because you like it in the bum. Brian C., thanks for the $5. Why doesn't he expect the same company and the same people to be more competent in emulation and ports than some kid doing it as a side project? Because he's a dick sucker. That's why. I mean, I think the real answer is I think he genuinely believes emulation is as simple as you put the game in your computer and the computer runs the game, you know?
self-respect because you don't know what real games are. Like, no, I just enjoy different things to you. But the irony is, this guy really likes Nintendo games, as he all but confirmed he emulates.
I do.
And it just feels really weird to me that people will complain about how bad Nintendo games are, and then just go ahead and play them anyway, albeit...
Well, I like it when they're good. I know this ludicrous idea. You know, maybe I'm a bit crazy, but I like it when the Nintendo games are good instead of bad. Weird. That's really weird, I know.
through an emulator. Newsflash, the reason people love these games still is because even through the performance issues, there's something undeniably fun, something you
No.
might have experienced when you
I mean, there
emulated it.
was.
Some
Not
of us were
anymore.
able to see that.
It's
even
fucking
with
dog
you, and
shit now.
You weren't, and that's okay. But you don't get to act as if it makes you better than others when...
First of all, I get to do whatever I want. Do something about it, pussy. But you won't because you're a pussy. I am better than you because you suck. That's why.
By all
It's
accounts,
not that I am high. It's that you are so low. You suck. You suck.
it just means you're unable to look deeper into something. Which, again, you don't have to if that's not how you enjoy games.
Again, this motherfucker says he can't... Motherfucker who thinks his computer is a magic box. Complaining about me not looking into things.
But
Okay.
chill it with the superiority complex, okay?
And Bing Bing Wahoo Man, you can now buy for $70. Yeah, 2 Wii games, $40 a piece, or $70 together. And it's the exact game with no improvements that will
Yep.
run worse than for free on your computer.
Again, the price of remasters is another fair criticism. It's still one I would personally counter. This is by
Yeah, because you're a dick sucker. This one is, come on, $40 for a fucking, for a Wii game being emulated? An emulation of a Wii game. $40.
Counts considered in the
Furious TV, thanks to the €5. He loves it when Nintendo feeds him shit, then he regurgitates it out his ass, and Nintendo make him eat it again and again in a cheaper Costco version. Yeah, that sounds true. Cost me $20 on average to get Wii games. Yeah, if you buy them physically on your computer, it's free. It's free.
conversation as among the greatest games ever made is of a modern quality, especially when it's remastered, is as long as a modern game.
It is not a... It is an emulation. It is being emulated. You're paying $40 for a game being emulated that you could emulate at better everything. Better resolution, better whatever aspect you want for free. That's why it's a fucking ripoff.
$40 for that sounds relatively reasonable, and the same
It's because you're dumb. It sounds reasonable because you're dumb.
It's equally excellent sequel. And of course, you can buy them together and save $10. Also, just the fact...
Whoa, dude, you can buy it together and save $10, $70 for games that came out 20 years ago, 15 years ago, something like that.
They're offering them separately means they are conscious of the fact that people did buy 3D All-Stars and are giving an option to buy only the bit you want, which is a pro-consumer move they didn't have to do, but...
It's a pro-consumer move to charge you $40 for a fucking Wii game? Are you... These people... I completely understand why they're okay with all the communist shit and being taxed into high hell. Because they clearly don't deserve money. Like, if the government took all this motherfucker's money, it would be entirely deserved.
Did anyway. But while I can personally see the justification for the price, I know not everyone feels that way. Again, I don't only want to comment on the things I think are outright wrong. Saying there are no improvements is also false. We know that this is remastered, and comparisons have shown...
Yeah, it's remastered. It has AI upscaling. Whoa, dude, you can do that. No one else could do that. Only the big company could do that.
That. Plus, you have the
with
story.
Their billions
that
of dollars.
Counter the point he's making. But again, he is using either deliberately exaggerated or untrue language, or is actually just ignorantly reacting to something he hasn't even looked twice at.
Are you fucking with me, dog? No, you're just an idiot, dog. I know you can't see it because you're too dumb, but you're an idiot. I hate to break it to you.
He literally explained that there is additional content in the direct.
We finally got...
Does he say what the additional content is? Notice how he very conveniently doesn't say what the additional content is because he's a slimy snake motherfucker. The additional content is a couple pages to the storybook. Whoa, dude. That's worth $40 whole. God, you're pathetic.
More news of Metroid Prime 4, and it was the worst possible news. I didn't even know I was capable of being more disappointed, but here we are in the Prime 4 trailer, which is probably the shortest of the entire Direct. They announced that Prime 4 is open world, or at the very least has an open world zone with a whole motorcycle and everything. How could you possibly miss the point this badly? Do not understand Metroid at all.
Okay, so this is actually really interesting, and I want to talk about it not necessarily to criticize Frogmire, but because there's actually an interesting discussion to be had here. I've never been massive into Metroid, but I loved Metroid Prime Remastered, and I think the open world element to Beyond is interesting. I can see why some people may think it's missing the point, because Metroid is often about the claustrophobia of being in tight atmospheric areas that feel incredibly isolating and deadly. But I think the key here is that only one of those words can't really work in regards to an open world.
Why does it? I just don't understand this. How you motherfuckers not tired of this shit by now? Just over and over again, just giant empty nothing. I'm really excited about the gameplay opportunities of empty nothing. I love empty nothing.
Also much tighter areas more similar to what's in previous games. It remains to be seen whether this will actually end up working or not, but it's not something that's inherently flawed, and just dismissing it without any additional information feels very presumptuous. But
bro,
again,
it's very presumptuous. Again, inability to see any patterns at all. Wow, Mario Kart World was ruined by a giant empty open world. Huh? Odd. I'll never, you know, I won't draw any patterns, draw any conclusions, nothing.
We've seen some pretty excellent ones over the years, including some of the best from Nintendo themselves.
No,
that said,
name one.
They don't even lean on open world nearly as much as Frogmire seems to suggest. Breath of the Wild and its sequel are a given. Pokemon Scarlet, but that wasn't Nintendo. Are the Xenoblade games open world?
Alright, that's not... Nothing is Nintendo then. Nothing... If that's not Nintendo, then nothing's Nintendo. You do realize... Just because Nintendo owns the IP, they don't actually own a ton of the studios that are making the games you're talking about. Kirby's not Nintendo, apparently. And it's...
Count, even if it does, that game is awesome. And then Mario Kart World.
I didn't like Bowser's Fury. I did not like Bowser's Fury. Didn't like it. Didn't like it.
And now Metroid Prime 4. I might be missing one or two, but even so, that's not a lot, and they've been doing lots of other styles of game as well. Heck, the most recent Zelda release was a return to 2D Zelda, so it's...
That one was also treated like a, there's a great video by, Sieve Gaming. Sieve Gaming made a great video about how, and I talk about it a little bit in my Breath of the Wild Ruined whatever, that this game openly takes a bunch of shit from Breath of the Wild that actively ruins it for no other reason than to copy Breath of the Wild. And that's what it is. That's exactly what this is. We're taking something from Breath of the Wild that does not belong and will actively ruin the game. I don't know why I'm reacting to this like I haven't made a whole ass video on this one topic. But
now I will agree that Mario Kart World's open world was a misstep. An understandable one, but a misstep.
No, it is not an understandable
one. Making Mario Kart open world.
Stupid
it was the
piece of
execution.
shit.
There are plenty of ways they could have made it great. They just didn't do any of them, which sucks. But just because they made one bad open world game doesn't mean they can't make good open world games.
No, they made one good one. They've made one good one. Do not say, oh, they made one bad one. No, they made one good one. That's all they've done. And every other time it has fucked the game up.
For a fact they can, because they absolutely have. Again, the
one time!
Valid, but it feels like the reasoning is screwed, and the anger is just way beyond what it should be, especially for someone who says he isn't even the biggest Metroid Prime fan.
Now, if you just want to race on a track, 3 laps
I'm tired of
around
being
the circle,
shit being ruined for no reason.
Racing, you can't do that anymore.
This is another good point. I have absolutely no anger towards it because I don't care about online, and I enjoy the connecting courses in local multiplayer. But Nintendo changing this was absolutely backwards, and one of the most baffling cases of them actively going against the enjoyment of their fans.
Yeah.
Hi, it's Editing Slate, so
yay,
I'm
black screen time. Good editing, by the way.
Today, as I'm recording this bit here, Nintendo actually released a new patch for Mario Kart World. Now, again, I don't play online, so I haven't played it.
It didn't solve it. It didn't solve the problem. The patch he's talking about did not solve the problem. It made it slightly more likely. You are now slightly more likely to play the only thing you would ever want to play. Incredible.
Had started to play. It does seem to have started again to move it back towards lap races. In terms of the online selection. Now, again, I don't know how much that has actually worked.
He's still failing the challenges.
But this is actually the second update where they've done this. So, while obviously to the update that made them less likely was bad, now they've done 2 updates where they're trying to fix that issue. The first one, obviously, people didn't really notice the difference, so it seems they've done another update to try and fix that. And I would guess if it doesn't work again, then they'll probably do another update to fix it even more. So, yes, doing it in the first place was anti-consumer. I'm not going to try and deny that it was. They're kind of course correcting now.
First of all, it's not anti-consumer. Dude, these delusional. I mean, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with these liberal motherfuckers that everything has to be in like politics terms or whatever. It's not anti-consumer. It's just a shit game. They're not being anti-consumer by making their game bad. The game's just bad, right? And them updating it to make you slightly more likely to be able to play the only part of the game you want to play is not a step in the right direction. Because the only step in the right direction would be just letting you choose what you want to play. Is that psychotic? Is that too much to ask to just say, hey, I like this track, I want to play on that track? Maybe no one wants to play on the shitty straight line nothing.
Which doesn't, absolve them of the fact they did it in the first place, but it is worth noting.
Instead, you're forced to race
Galaxy 1 and 2 were $20 on the eShop. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, and they doubled it for no
on
reason.
A straight line with nothing interesting, nothing cool, no obstacles, just a straight line. You're driving through traffic.
Okay, you lost me again. I mean, let's ignore that he's played.
Dude, motherfucker, I knew he was going to do this. Honk! Everyone, it says honk if you like pizza. Honk! Honk, 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 honk. Dipshit. Yes, it's not. Huh, that seems pretty straight to me. Yeah, it's not as perfectly straight. Last time I checked, when I want to drive in my racing game, it should be as far from perfectly straight as possible. If it even resembles a straight line, that's bad. Honk if you like pizza, though. It says honk if I like pizza. I like pizza. Honk, honk. God damn, dude. Holy shit.
A clip where you can very clearly see on the minimap that it's not a straight line at all. But there are many connecting courses that are much less straight than this. One video I was going to do was to go through
There are no obstacles. It is nothing. It's a giant wide nothingness. That's the problem, you fucking idiot.
Turns were in them, comparing them to how many are in the regular course they're connected to. And you'd actually be surprised by a lot of them. There also are absolutely obstacles, which are not just the traffic, but also things like Hammer Bros or...
Oh my god, Hammer Bros, that's impossible for them to hit you because it's giant wide fucking nothingness.
They aren't without flaws. So.
Dude, you fucking idiot. People would not be complaining about this if the intermission tracks were anywhere near what the regular tracks are. I mean,
I
god
think
damn it,
doing
dude.
3 laps at the end would make them stronger, but they're not just straight lines with no obstacles. That just isn't true by any standard.
Honestly, I'm just waiting. Maybe
When
a
I
month,
want to
2
buy a
months from now,
carrot,
they're gonna
I have
sell
to
a
pay the same as
DLC
them.
that lets you play
Oh, you're saying
online on the
these
tracks.
people's
I know
votes
exactly
are
how they're
worth
gonna
the
sell
same
it,
as
too. They're gonna
mine.
be like, here's the
Actually,
DLC
they're worth
with
nothing
10
because
new
this guy's
tracks.
British.
And when you
But
play
I
online,
see
you
your
can
point.
select a mode where if you own the DLC, you only race on the DLC tracks.
Anyone who's been paying attention
I'm
knows
buying
that
it.
isn't
Dude.
going to happen. If they do include that option,
If I'm right, no. You can't message them. Again, you don't know me. You don't fucking know me. But if I'm right, that'd be pretty crazy. I'm just saying, doesn't that sound fucking genius? Everyone's complaining that they can't play on the tracks, right? You release a DLC that only includes new tracks because no one played the open world. Why the fuck would they make more open world? Because no one likes it, right? Then you make it so you can choose, I only want to race on DLC tracks. Because if you bought the DLC, obviously you only want to race on those. That way, you can pay to not have to play on the intermission tracks. Seems pretty genius to me, right? Pretty genius.
at a later date, it will be free DLC. Free DLC is something they do in their games a lot, and they did it on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe as well.
This
and
is
heck, in
rage
Deluxe, they
baiting
allowed
me.
you to play the DLC courses
That's
online,
good.
even if you didn't own the DLC. They were willing to go that far to appeal to the online players. The recent update is definitely not following that spirit, but I don't think that there's any reason
Not
to believe
following
Nintendo
that
will look
spirit.
at an online option like that behind a paywall. That just reduces the
Again, I have to keep thinking that, remember, this guy thinks I'm a psychic, that I just have psychic powers. Pattern recognition does not exist.
amount of people that will use it and defeat the
What is
purpose
he
of it.
doing in the
Of course,
game? I
DLC
don't know.
won't include any of
He's
those
the better
straight-line
editor,
mission
though.
tracks.
You don't think the DLC for the big open world Mario Kart game will have another portion of open world in it?
Nobody
I know-
likes the open...
Why?
How fuck... What do you mean why, you fucking moron? Nobody likes it. Nobody uses it. That's why. You fucking idiot.
Why would they not do more open world stuff, seeing as it's the game's selling point? And no, it
Because
isn't
it's
no one
not
likes
selling the game. That's why. Nobody fucking likes it. Nobody uses it. Everyone hates it.
the open world. The DLC would have been in development well before the game released, for similar reasons as I mentioned for the Bonanza DLC.
You know, a lot of people blame Nintendo's transformation into EA on Doug Bowser, because Doug Bowser is the president of Nintendo
I do
of
wanna
America, and
slip,
he was
I
an
really
EA
do.
executive for 8 years, so it makes sense. But I think Nintendo's downfall has been going on a lot longer than that. It all
Sure.
began with the death of Iwata.
What? This is where
It
he
did.
oversteps the line for me. This is where
What?
it goes from, damn, look at this guy's hilarious tirade about something that doesn't really matter, to, oh, wow, you actually just don't care what you say, huh? As a general
What?
rule, we don't
Are you genuinely this stupid? You think the death of the president of a company would have no effect on the company? Are you that fucking stupid? Dude, I literally... I genuinely can't imagine what it's like to be... Can you tie your shoes? Are you capable of it? Does someone tie them for you?
use a man's death as a way to score notches on our points card. You don't
Call
get
him
to
fat.
use Iwata's
You're
death as a
fat.
way to dog on people for liking Nintendo games. His legacy should not be just losers on the internet using him as a martyr for the Nintendo they used to love. Fun fact, Nintendo
I'm sorry. Whether it's good or bad, you are the dumbest motherfucker alive if you think the death of the president of a company does not affect that company. You are just fucking stupid. And it is incredibly obvious, if you're capable of any kind of pattern recognition, that Nintendo has gone downhill since the death of Iwata. Therefore, the change was negative. You fucking idiot.
was not perfect under Iwata either. A lot of the things he has criticized in this video, including DLC, started on the Wii U when Iwata was at the helm. This guy hates the Galaxy
Bro, you are fucking...
1+2 reveal for the 40th anniversary of Mario. He would have hated what they did for the
I think he cut this. Didn't I talk about this in the fucking video? It might have been a different video, but I literally bring this up. That compilation was $25. Or maybe it was 20. This was cheap as fuck. I remember that. Fuck, someone brought it up. I literally brought it up in the video. It might have been a different video, but I think it was this one. He cut that part. Last I checked, that's a lot less than 70 for 2 games. Huh. It was 40. Okay, so 40, lot less than 70, and it had more games than 2.
25th under Iwata. The seemingly corporate sanitization of the Mario franchise was going on during Iwata's
I think it was
tenure.
less than 40. Maybe it was 40. No, it had to be less than 40. I think it was 25. 40 initially. Maybe it went down. Maybe I should look it up. Fuck it. I'll look it up. Because I talked about it in one of my videos. What's it called? All Stars Wii Collection Price. All right, initial price. Initial. Fuck, it's coming up with the... Damn, I don't know. This one says 30. I don't know if that's true or not. Who knows?
Yeah, and only ended after he sadly passed.
40?
And I'm not saying that Iwata was not a great man and a great president for Nintendo. He was. But there's this idea that Nintendo was amazing and wasn't focused on money while Iwata was alive, and no.
But no one implied that. Unfortunately, you are mentally retarded, so maybe you made that up in your head. But it is very clear that Nintendo is worse off than it was when he was alive. And you are fucking delusional if you think a guy who loves video games, actively worked on video games, saved multiple games, multiple, that would not exist without for him, right? Pokemon Stadium and Pokemon, he's the one who made it so that in Gold and Silver, they brought back Kanto. That was all Iwata. And you replace him with a random businessman no one's ever heard of. And you think that's better? You're a fucking idiot, and you're undeserving of existence.
That's not true. Again, there have been so many pro-consumer decisions made in the last decade, and I've already mentioned a lot of them. Mario Kart Tour's move away from gacha, the switch to editions as a better alternative to
Dude, no one fucking cares about... First of all, the fact that it existed at all is bad enough. No one gives a fuck that Mario Kart on the phone moved away from gacha. It moved away from gacha because no one was buying the gacha. That's why.
All the free DLC they've offered. If you insist on Pokemon being Nintendo's problem, then the move away from third versions is another. It's not like we...
No. The move away from third versions is not positive. Fuck you. The games are shit now. That's the problem. They're shit. They weren't shit before. Now, is that Iwata? Probably not. But the rest is... The fucking blatant anti-consumer practices is 100% no more Iwata. No more Iwata and no more Reggie.
Lost Iwata and Nintendo went off the deep end. They made some bad decisions like they did before, and they made some good ones too. Like
no, they didn't. No, they didn't. Stop fucking lying.
That's it. This is now getting into just truly scummy behavior.
Again, no. You being openly stupid does not make me a scumbag. If you think the president of a company dying and being replaced does not affect the company in some way, you are a fucking idiot.
Yeah, and I hope I'm not the only person that feels uncomfortable with him using this point.
Oh, I'm uncomfortable. Too bad I'm sorry you feel uncomfortable about reality. Again, this is the guy who complains about me calling it baby games. I'm calling it baby games because people like you are fucking babies. You can't handle reality.
Live in bad times. There are a lot of people who genuinely have nothing, who have no soul,
Yep.
who have no love, who have
Yep.
no family, and so
Yep.
they attach to their own childhood as the only thing they have left. And those people would rather die than see Nintendo as the evil thing that it is.
The hypocrisy of saying this and trying to pass it off somewhat as empathy after lambasting these same people for buying
Brother, it is not empathy. I am insulting you. I am saying you are bad and you should feel bad.
and enjoying video games is true cinema.
It also doesn't help that the developers just aren't the same people anymore. The people who made the games you love
Yes.
either don't exist, some of which are unfortunately dead, or so old that their brain is basically goo.
It's
Miyamoto,
true.
I love him. Great guy. He has no idea where he is. You can just look into his
He
eyes
doesn't.
and see that nobody is home.
72 is not brain turning to goo age, and Miyamoto
It is. It absolutely fucking is. Look it up. You have some form of dementia at 70. Everyone has some form of dementia at 70. It is goo age. Goo.
seems to be doing just fine. He is very clearly still passionate about video games.
No, he's not. We have a quote from Miyamoto now, which, again, is probably because his brain is goo, that he likes movies because video games are temporary. Can anyone in chat, I don't know if you can find that exact quote, but it was something along those lines. That he's like, video games are temporary. It's like, yeah, no, his brain's fucking goo.
And even if he doesn't work on them as actively as he used to, he still appears to have quite the influence. But the funny thing is, he's also the same person people will go after for the supposed Mario mandates. Miyamoto is kind of old.
Yeah, no, this is proof that his brain is going to goo. Because the Mario mandates existed because they were destroying Mario and he didn't like it. He had an idea for Mario that Mario wasn't supposed to be cute. He didn't like the idea of Mario doing this. He's like, that's too cute. I don't like it. But as he got less influence over the actual games, right? Mario started doing cute shit like that, you know? And that's why he did the Mario mandates type stuff, because they're taking his character and they're changing it in ways he didn't like. And that's how you know his brain is goo, because Wowie Zowie is everything he would have fucking hated. So clearly, his brain's fucking goo. And the only reason you don't accept that is because you pretend to care, but you don't actually care. You just like eating slop because you're a fucking loser. I know these things because I legitimately do care about Mario.
Fashioned in his views towards video games, and from what we can tell, it's often the new blood that has to struggle against some of his stubbornness in that. And again,
no, he
is
does
rightly
not
a
care
legend,
about
but the
shit
idea
anymore.
that the passing
Wowie
of the blood
Zowie.
is what's killing
Wowie
Nintendo
Zowie,
does not
dude.
seem to be the case. There are many talented and passionate people there still. Also, it should go without saying,
No,
but in the
there's
same way as weaponizing Iwata's passing, implying that Miyamoto is senile and suffering from dementia is just ew. And
Ew. Reality? Ew. How dare you point out to me reality? I want to live in my baby world. Let me live in my baby world, where nothing bad ever happens to anybody.
No bones about it. That
Ew.
is what frogmire is implying here.
If there was, he would have executed someone by now over the
It's
Mario
true.
movie. The Mario movie, which was the biggest announcement of the Nintendo Direct. You know, Nintendo, a video game company, who spent more time talking about a movie than an actual new Mario game, or at least given more time to Metroid Prime 4, or something else that gamers care about.
I don't understand what's wrong with Nintendo promoting the movie in the Direct. Even though it isn't a game, it's arguably their biggest release next year in their biggest franchise, and the people watching
Probably because people like you who like the Mario movie should die. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why. Is that why? Maybe that's why.
the Direct are indeed interested in it.
I mean,
No,
you
they're
knew it was
not.
over when they picked
Dude, this was the most poorly received Direct ever. So if that was true, then people would have liked it a whole lot more.
Illumination to make the Mario movie. A company incapable of making anything with any soul at all.
I feel
It's
like this
true.
guy is a little behind because Illumination has somewhat been redeeming their image.
No, they have not.
Not just with their open criticism and mocking of AI and having a couple of actually decent.
Oh my god, they mocked AI? Whoa, that means there are heroes now. Imagine being that fucking stupid. This is why no one can ever take liberals seriously. That as long as you pander to their oddly specific weirdo virtue signaling shit, all of a sudden you're a good guy now. Well, they said AI was bad, so that means everything they've ever done is good now, and they're the good guys now.
Films under their belt, but also because the Mario movie itself showed a massive improvement in terms of
No,
how much
it
effort
didn't.
they're willing
That
to put into
movie's
the
so
animation.
fucking
The story
bad.
was the weaker part of the film for sure, but they showed plenty of love to the franchise in the ways that people adored. And
No, they should love the franchise in the most, in only the way that pathetic losers like you like. That it's just references. That's all it's references. No actual love for the character, because if they had any love for the character, Mario would have sounded like fucking Mario. No, it's just reference. Oh, I know that reference. I remember. Oh, I remember that. Oh, I remember that. No actual love for anything, for why people like the thing in the first place.
it even seemed that Nintendo was slightly more relaxed with how they allowed Illumination to present the film, such
Yeah,
as letting them
shittily.
refer to the spiny shell as the blue shell, as one example.
Oh,
That's unthinkable.
Whoa, dude. Whoa. They referred to the spiny shell as blue shell. Whoa, dude. That makes it a good movie. That means the movie was good.
In a Nintendo game, but Nintendo actually seems like they've relinquished some amount of control, and while it wasn't a spectacular movie, what we got was a pretty good love letter to the fans.
But no,
No.
we get Illumination and Chris Pratt and Seth Rogen. Because, you know, Seth Rogen, he's only in the best stuff.
Did anyone actually have an issue with Seth Rogen in the film? I remember people were apprehensive at
Seth
first,
Rogen's
but he
never
ended
been
up being a
anything
pretty fun
good in his
character.
entire
And Chris
life.
Pratt as
He's
Mario was
ruined
great.
everything
He
he's
didn't work
ever
for everyone,
touched.
but the overall consensus for most people who watched the film was that he did a great job. He understood the assignment, and he became Mario. Can't say fairer than that. People forget that
The fuck are you talking about? The fuck? I feel like Chris Pratt as Mario is probably one of the most criticized things ever.
this isn't Pratt's first time voicing a happy-go-lucky everyman who appears to be completely ordinary, but with his courage and force of will.
Bro, Mario isn't even that. I don't, this is what I'm talking about. Miyamoto, his brain is goo. It's just goo. He's not supposed to be cute.
He's able to become extraordinary. Pratt had the credentials from the beginning, and the great thing is that he still made Mario feel distinct from Emmett and faithful to the actual character, relatively at least. This genuinely
like
feels like
peak
criticisms that
autism,
come from
dude.
someone who has not seen the film, because he doesn't have any substantive criticisms beyond, well, when has Seth Rogen been in anything good?
Mario
He
just
hasn't.
is Mickey Mouse now. He has no attachment to anything real. He's not
It's
a real
true.
character anymore, just a symbol for a corporate entity.
What does
It's
this
true.
mean? Like, I get it, he isn't
All right,
really
this
a
is the
character, but, like,
this is the problem. This is Honk If You Like Pizza has autism. I know this is crazy to you, but humans and people have personalities and they have mannerisms and there are things you do. I know you are autistic, so you look at people and you have to look at the ground, so you have no idea what they're doing. But when I say he's not a character, I mean he has no characterization. You understand? Honk.
when has he ever been?
Honk.
He's always been a very simple
Honk.
character with little personality other than pure joy. That's entirely by design as he becomes a player surrogate, but it really hasn't changed that much. In fact, the Mario movie gave him
I literally already explained it. Wowie Zowie is completely antithetical to what Mario is. There's a reason the Mario mandate even existed, because it means that Mario was something.
A bit more character, to the point that some moments felt a little out of character. He's never really been a character. He's always been a symbol. This is just a weird misunderstanding of Mario.
Okay, apparently it's AI or fake. He said, ultimately, what people remember are the IPs. Games become obsolete when new versions come out, but that's incredibly sad. Oh, that's what he said. That's still pretty bad. That's no good. Maybe it's true, though. Remember are the... I don't think that's true. I think his brain is goo.
No. I also don't get the Disney comparison. I assume that he's talking primarily about the size of the company and the large amount of merchandising.
This is what I'm talking about. He has to be autistic. That he sees no connection between Disney and Nintendo. The similarities between Disney and Nintendo is that the power of the company is in their intellectual property. That's the similarity. And the connection to people's childhoods. Not the size in the merchandising. Although that is also similar. You dum-dum. You are dumb. You should feel bad for being dumb.
Media they're delving into, the latter of which doesn't really feel like an inherently bad thing, especially when they're doing things like the Rosalina storybook as part of the merch they're creating, which means a lot to a lot of people. But regardless, the comparison to Disney is not particularly apt.
Mario's never been a character.
One of the most toxic parts of Disney.
Again,
monopolization. Nintendo
the Mario
stuff
like the Mario mandate could exist if he wasn't a character of some kind. Also, everything is a character.
That's Microsoft's deal. Nintendo doesn't do this. They rarely buy studios, and when they do, it's always meaningful. Nintendo
what the fuck are you talking about? That's not why people hate Disney. They hate Disney for making dog shit. And for shitting all over people's memories by remaking things and making them worse. Not buying studios and what the fuck? What even studios have they bought?
Content. Nintendo isn't comparable to Disney because of that one fundamental philosophy difference.
I think
that is autism, dude. It is literally just autism. It's like this hyper-specific thing that only I care about is the only thing that exists. It's like, God, you can't talk to him, dude. Pixar? Bro, they bought Pixar forever ago. Also, Pixar still exists.
With any soul or brains left at Nintendo is Sakurai. And it's just because he doesn't care anymore. He's like, okay, I'll make all the Smash games you want, but now you're letting me make my game. And I'm making Kirby Air Ride, because that's cool. I don't care how many copies it sold.
What are you talking about? Sakurai didn't use Smash as a chip to get Nintendo to let him make Kirby Air Riders. Sakurai didn't even come up with the idea. Nintendo EPD and HAL Laboratories approached him about it. They asked...
First of all, people keep bringing this up because they're retarded, but... At no point does he say they specifically asked for Kirby Air Ride. They just said he had to make a pitch. That's what he said. Pitch. There is no universe. You could not convince me in 10 million years, because I'm not mentally retarded, that they're like, hey, this game that sold barely any copies, we want the sequel right now. You have to drop everything for it. Don't buy it. What I do believe is they said, Sakurai, we want a new game for the Switch 2, pitch us something, and he pitches Kirby Air Ride. That I do believe. Or... probably more specifically, we want a Kirby game. We want you to work on a Kirby game. And then he pitches Kirby Air. That I would believe. Autism. Can't handle it. I don't like him. Pixie, thanks for the $2. Phil my anus. No.
Him to make it, not the other way.
I wouldn't say Sakurai is clean himself considering his design philosophy for Brawl. That's why he is good. Fuck you, competitive players. I hope you all die. Smash is a party game. It's better as a party game. Fuck you. Brawl's the best Smash game. Don't at me. And I played probably 1,000 hours of Smash Ultimate. Brawl's the best game.
Round.
And you just know the corporate Nintendo guys are just seething over this. They're like, he only gets to do this because he has to make another Smash game.
What are you talking about? They wanted him to make the game. They asked him to make... Guys, are you hearing this? This guy just gushed about how based it was that Sakurai got to make 2 directs and clearly didn't watch them because...
You found an article for Super Mario All-Stars. Which one's that? Why did open air? Wait, I want the video. Wait, how do I need to bring it to my other side. I want the video up. Right, that's All Stars. Let me see. This doesn't say price. $30. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, it's 30. I was right, it is 30. Yay, 30. Yeah, 30. Woo! I was right. $30. Or what did I say? Maybe I said 25. It was 30.
if he did, he'd know that Sakurai did not make this game because he just decided he wanted to. He made it because the corporate bigwigs asked.
I was talking about Mario All-Stars. It says at the bottom. Am I wrong? I'm pretty sure it says 30. Yeah, 30. Yay, 30.
Him to make it. Why are they going to be seething about Sakurai doing the exact thing they asked him to do? And no, again, don't get me wrong, Sakurai is a legend and he doesn't work on anything without being incredibly passionate about it. But the idea of Kirby Air Riders was born out of the corporate desire for Kirby Air Riders to exist.
I do not believe that in 10,000 fucking years. Not a million, not a billion, trillion, quadrillion. That they would rather him work on Kirby Air Riders than Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. A game that sold 1 million copies, 1 million, comparing to a game that sells tens of millions. Yeah, I don't believe you. You are dumb.
Nintendo brought back Advance Wars, Endless Ocean, Famicom Detective Club, and another code on Switch.
I don't think Ultimate's a bad game, by the way. I like Ultimate. I just think Brawl is like one of the greatest games ever. I fucking love Brawl.
The idea to bring back Kirby Air Ride couldn't have come from that same company.
Okay, do you see how these are all insane budget titles? Look what he uses as his examples. Advance Wars 1+2, which is a remake of old games. That turned out to be really shit, by the way. Endless Ocean Luminous, Emio the Smiling Man, and Another Code Recollection. Yeah, these are equivalent to the AAA game Kirby Air Riders. Okay.
Switch. You think the idea to bring back Kirby Air Ride couldn't have come from that same company? And heck, look
Ultimate is objective. I don't think you know what the word objective means. Probably because you're retarded.
Notice how similar they are to the Smash
Brawl
style
is
direct.
too slow. That's because they're dweebs. Brawl is perfect.
To take an iconic director who used an iconic style of presentation for one of their highest selling games ever and use that to promote a game from the other franchise that director is iconic for. You think that was Sakurai's idea? That's marketing gold because it will get suckers like you hook, line, and sinker. You spent this video bemoaning people.
Bro, are you retarded? Wait, I wasn't listening. What did he say?
That's marketing gold because it will get suckers like you hook, line, and sinker. Gold? You spent this video bemoaning.
I love. He calls me a sucker, the guy who literally eats dog shit out of a straw.
One of their highest selling games ever, and use that to promote a game from the other franchise that director is iconic for. You think that was Sakurai's idea? That's marketing gold because.
Bro, what the fuck are you? Wait, I'm skipping back farther. What the fuck is he talking about?
Don't get me wrong, Sakurai is a legend, and he doesn't work on anything without being incredibly passionate about it. Okay. But the idea of Kirby Air Riders was born out of the corporate desire for Kirby Air Riders to exist. No. Nintendo brought back Advance Wars, Endless Ocean, Famicom Detective
all tiny budget titles that had nothing at all and didn't sell anything.
And heck, look at the directs. Have you not noticed how similar they are to the Smash style of direct? You don't.
Bro, that's because Sakurai is making it, you fucking idiot. All of his games are the same. Are you all? Not to mention, Kirby Air Riders had 1 hour and 45 minutes of directs. That is entirely unique. Like, what the fuck are you on?
I don't think at all that was Nintendo's idea. To take an iconic director who used an iconic style of presentation for one of their highest selling games ever and use that to promote a game from the...
I genuinely can't imagine being this stupid. To thinking the direction style has nothing to do with Sakurai. You know, the guy who made all of those things and instead was a marketing move from Nintendo. You are a fucking idiot, dude. I genuinely can't imagine having no ability to pattern recognize at all.
You spent this video bemoaning people who fall for Nintendo's greedy corporate tricks because of their reverence for their games, and you've fallen for the most obvious one because of your own reverence for Sakurai. Seriously, this is just hilariously unaware of him.
You're a fucking retard. You're genuinely too stupid. Like, it's impossible. It's impossible to be that. How do you read? Can you read?
Now, sure, it probably helped somewhat, but the Switch existed for 3 years before.
Scottish Traditionalist, thanks for £2. Sakurai for president. Dude, if it would be good. If he was president of Nintendo, I think we'd be on the up.
A phenomenon. I've genuinely never heard this line of argument because no one's crazy enough to actually use it. For Animal Crossing, sure, I'll grant you, but the Switch itself was selling like crazy whether or not the world closed down.
But we always have the third option.
Again, you are fucking delusional if you don't think... I mean, you can... Every video game, period, got a boost from the pandemic, whatever you want to call it. Lockdown. That's what I said. Lockdown. COVID. Every video game, period, got a boost from COVID. Except the Switch. Apparently that one didn't. That's the only one. Every single video game ever has objectively been boosted by the lockdown, except apparently the Switch. God, you're a fucking idiot.
On the internet and hope it gets better, which isn't as pointless as it sounds, because if you make
if you were autistic, you would actually have pattern recognition. You'd be surprised. There are 2 types of autists, too. And generally, autistic people are only able to pattern recognize in the very specific thing they're obsessed with.
unacceptable to buy Nintendo games and just make Nintendo fans sound like losers, people won't want to be associated with Nintendo anymore, especially with how widespread the internet is now.
Again, is it not ironic to be making a 20-minute video complaining about Nintendo and saying that your aim is to make Nintendo fans look like losers?
Yes,
especially seeing as you yourself appear to be at least a fan of their older games. Besides, I grew up during the Wii and DS era, where it was socially unacceptable to be a Nintendo fan, where you were considered a loser for that. And yet, Nintendo managed to have...
You are considered a loser because you are a loser. The Wii and the DS are some of the best-selling consoles ever. They were insanely popular. What the fuck are you talking about? Actually, is the DS the best-selling console of all time? I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'm wrong. It's definitely up there. Again, people thought you were a loser. You weren't a loser for playing Nintendo stuff. You were a loser because you're a loser.
Arguably, their
best. The Wii is the normie console. If you're talking about normal people, you think of the Wii.
Based on sales of the Wii and DS combined. Heck, even these days, kids do often regard the Switch as the baby console. Nintendo isn't cool, but they make games that people enjoy, so people buy it.
Bro, what the fuck are you talking about, dog? The Switch is also profoundly normie. Like, what are you talking about? First of all, the only connection you have to kids is one that should be illegal. So I don't want to hear you say shit about what the kids are saying. But you are high. You are genuinely high. Only recently does Nintendo have a negative stigma. Only recently.
Anyway, you can't shame people into not buying Nintendo games. And even if you did, the people you're trying to bully out of their personal hobbies...
You absolutely can. Like I said, these are normie things. The only reason people are buying them is because it's cool. Half the people who buy a Switch don't even know fucking video games.
To enjoy it in your own way are not the losers. Alright, so that's all of the points
I
wanted to address from the video itself, but there was one more point I've been saving for the end. The title of the video. Now, yeah, it's clickbaity, it's rage-baity,
it's a great
but
title.
It's reinforced in the video to the point that I actually think frogmire genuinely believes Nintendo to be objectively evil, and while I'm sure he would be glad to hear that people think he's...
They're not evil, they're objectively evil. Let me make things very clear to you. Anyone who disagrees with me on anything is evil, and I don't like you. How's that sound? If you disagree with me on literally anything, at any point in time, you are evil and should be executed for your crimes. How's that sound?
He really shouldn't be when these are the words, because they make him look... I really do not like having to resort to ad hominem. But
oh
honestly,
my gosh.
I don't see a better way to illustrate this point. It makes him look like an idiot. Now, that's...
Alright. You say I look like an idiot. I want you to know, I very truly believe this. I mean 100% honest. I would be baffled if you didn't have multiple mental diseases, one of which includes mental retardation. You are one of the dumbest people I have ever heard in my entire life. I am dumber for having watched this, and you should be ashamed to be alive. How's that sound? Good? Good? I hope you take me seriously. I don't like you.
Not just a senseless insult. I'm not saying, I don't like you, so you must be stupid. No, I actually genuinely think that's a relatively reasonable takeaway from this, if these beliefs of his are
It is a
genuine.
reasonable
And
take
honestly,
to think
I
you are mentally
Activision
retarded.
Blizzard that he invited right at the beginning of this video
Diagnosably so.
But we can go a little deeper. Evil is just a really ridiculous thing to say about a game company in general without greater reasoning, as we do for Activision Blizzard, because these companies aren't evil for the most part. Evil, to my mind, is the knowing and intentional causing of pain or suffering to people. You can make this case about Activision Blizzard because, well, the allegations are pretty serious. But Nintendo isn't doing that.
Knowing,
they're just putting high prices on
evil is anyone who disagrees with me on anything. That's what evil means. That's the definition, by the way, if you look it up. NR, thanks for the $5. Because of a dude making ROM edits for money, he is now a debt slave for life. How is this not evil? Actually sub 85 IQ. Yeah, that's a... causing harm? Yeah, exactly. Putting someone in debt for life, that's not causing harm?
And sometimes under-delivering on content.
Yeah, companies aren't evil, says the left. You're right, that's insane.
I do find another comparison frogmire made to be more interesting, though. EA. EA has always been the poster child for scummy tactics, but I still don't know if I would ever have called them evil, just a company with no class. With that said,
no,
EA
a company with no class, you fucking loser.
Strategies that have been proven to contribute to gambling addictions. Gambling addictions do real disastrous harm to people, and these are being promoted in the industry. Does this constitute evil?
Maybe. Did it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
Now,
he's going to win this time.
I do know that Nintendo has dabbled in loot boxes, most notably Mario Kart Tour and, from what I understand, Fire Emblem Heroes. I assume a game like Regalia Lost also had them, but the point is that they have done
I don't give a fuck about gambling shit.
In fact, I believe Fire Emblem Heroes still has that system in place. That is, however, the only example. Most of Nintendo's other gacha-style games have been shut down or, in the case of Mario Kart Tour,
no, people think EA is evil because
they
it's
actually
shit,
removed the big
and people don't like shit.
element from one of their biggest games that utilized it. That still doesn't absolve them.
You have
Fire
no
Emblem
class.
Heroes still exists.
Ain't got
but
no
it's something I
class.
just can't see most companies doing unless absolutely forced to. So this is what it comes down to for me. Nintendo's monetization is actually pretty decent most of the time.
No, it's not.
And
What the
prices are
fuck, dude? How? How could you possibly think that?
but they don't really dabble in many actually scummy tactics. With Nintendo,
He admitted to this, by the way. He admitted that I was right in saying that Nintendo was using illegal patents that are not legally defendable to try and run a company out of money, forcing them to shut down, to defend patents that are illegal, knowingly. That's not scummy. He admitted to that, by the way. God damn. I couldn't imagine sucking dick this hard.
typically buy a game for a fixed price, then maybe buy DLC, and that's it. Most companies have layers upon layers of different ways to monetize their games, often starting free, but enticing you in with all these exciting sounding ways to spend your money.
Like what?
That's
Name
not
one.
Nintendo, and they're better for it.
No,
Let's
they're
actually
not.
look at the games we're getting on
Most of the games you're talking about are free, not $70.
the Switch and Switch 2. Metroid Prime 4, one-time purchase, no other monetization. Age of Imprisonment, one-time purchase.
Those games aren't even out yet, dog. You shouldn't even know about DLC or anything before a game is out. You shouldn't even know. So don't bring up games that don't even fucking exist and talk about this game that doesn't exist is real great.
Purchase, no other monetization.
It doesn't
Mario Tennis
exist.
FIFA, Tomodachi Life, Rhythm Paradise Groove.
Look at
Yoshi
all those
and
other
Mysterious
games
Book.
that don't
These are things that
exist.
are meant to draw you in.
Whoa,
and
look
lead
at all
to
the games
what
that
they
don't
want to have.
exist.
You pay money and you get a game. Galaxy 1 Plus 2, not only is it a one-time purchase, but you have the option to purchase
It's a one-time purchase of something that is emulated. It is being emulated. Something that is free. They're making you pay for something that's free. Game Wiz Deluxe, thanks for $2. Isn't Pokemon ZA the storyline of Gary Bowser? Is he the debt collector? Or is he the one being debt collected on?
the two games separately, which accounts for people who already bought 3D All-Stars. Mario Kart World was expensive and not worth the asking price. but they
Schizo
very
Garcia,
specifically
thanks
had
for
a
the
Switch
$2.
bundle
Holy
to make it
Reddit,
less
Chungus
expensive than most other
Soytendo as
games.
my
Of
wife's
course, when I say
ball.
there's no other monetization, that doesn't account for DLC. But that's basically just paying an amount of money for more game. It's like buying a second, smaller game with a price that reflects
Yeah, it's
that.
paying
They don't
more
always get
money
right,
for
as
more
Fernando
game
proves,
that
but
was
usually you get value with
deliberately
the DLC
cut from
purchases.
the main
And then
part.
there's the Switch 2
A
editions,
game that
which,
is
as I said, is just a
openly,
much more consumer-friendly way of doing the same thing
obviously,
they've been doing for years
fucking
with remakes and remasters,
painfully
but in a way that
unfinished.
doesn't lock new content behind a full game's price paywall for those who already own the original. This isn't even talking about how often they offer DLC for free, something they absolutely could charge for, but they don't.
No.
And this goes for many of the Switch.
No, weird. They actually only did that for the Switch one. And even then, it's, you know, people praise it as like, oh, it's free DLC. It's not free DLC. They didn't finish the game, didn't want to delay it, so they give you more later. You know, they're like, okay, here you go. Here's the finished game after you already bought it.
Upgrades for Switch 1 games,
Yeah,
which are also free.
Yeah,
You
how does
can
he
tell
keep
many
missing
companies would nickel and
stationary
dime you for all
coins?
of it.
I don't know.
Free stuff is relatively rare in the industry, unless it's a gateway to further monetization. So it being the norm in literally the biggest game company in the world is
That's because it's
crazy.
not
They
free
dabble
stuff.
with other
It's
forms
stuff
of
that...
monetization,
Dude, how
but
does
that
he
isn't their
miss
bread and butter.
these?
I also want to mention Switch Online because holy heck, what a good deal it's ended up being. A lot of people complain
No,
about the
it
very
is
fact you have
not,
to pay for online,
dude.
and that is fair.
No,
I feel
it
like
is
Nintendo,
not.
as well as the other console manufacturers, mostly charge for online because upkeep of the service does cost them money and resources.
Bro, how do
But
I
it's not
play
as
a
if they
game
don't
on
have the money, so,
Steam?
yeah,
It's
another
weird. I don't
criticism
have to
I'm
pay
not
for
bothered
anything.
by
I just kinda
personally,
play
but
it
I don't have
online.
massively
Weird.
compelling arguments to the contrary. Now, with that said, if you are going to charge for online, the way Nintendo does it is absolutely excellent. And at this point, it's not even debatable that it's worth
No,
money,
it's not.
even
Dude,
considering that it's a subscription.
first of all,
that you
half
have
the
to keep
shit
paying
is
for
still
continuously.
peer-to-peer,
Let's assume
which
you're
means
looking
it
at the expansion
shouldn't
pack on an individual
cost
level for a year.
anything.
That's $50.
Then
It sounds
it
like a
runs
lot,
like
but that's
ass.
every year. And
Switch
frankly,
Online
as
is
someone who
horrible
actually
and
has the
always
expansion
has
pass down the
been,
line, it's
so I'm
actually
sure
still one of the
Switch
less
2 Online is
expensive
just as
subscription services I
bad.
have. But the
And
actual
all the
content you get
fucking
alongside
free
this is
shit
insane.
is
With
already
the addition of
free.
Virtual Boy, the service will hit around 350 games. Although granted,
Bro,
Virtual Boy
there's no
is its own
fucking
separate
way
thing
you're
because
bringing
you
up the
have to pay
Virtual
for
Boy
headsets.
as real shit.
Something didn't
Something you have to
mention all
buy
in
a
this video, which I'm kinda shocked
$40...
about.
Actually,
But even
how
without
much is
Virtual
the
Boy,
peripheral? The fucking Virtual Boy, a console that was so bad that it nearly killed them, that nobody liked and can cause legitimate damage to you, that you have to buy a peripheral just to use it. It's not free. You don't get it with online. You have to buy the fucking peripheral. $100. $100 peripheral.
you still have almost 350 games, and that's a number that's growing. Games also almost never leave the service. With only
Yeah,
ever
do you
actually
realize
hitting one
those are 350 games that you can only play with this service before the Switch Online? The what he's talking about are the ROMs you get. These are ROMs, by the way, things you can get for free basically anywhere. Used to be available to purchase on the Wii U, right? And it didn't have all of Nintendo's old games, but it had a lot. The Switch 2 the Switch Online has less. It has less of Nintendo's old games available than the Wii U, something they shut down, right? So that means there are Nintendo games that you genuinely have no way of playing. You can't play them. So if you can't get them anywhere anyway, why not get them for free online? And then if you're getting some for free online, why not just get all of them for free? Because all it is emulation. Fuck you, is what I'm trying to say. Ponsegi, thanks for the membership.
Up to this point. Beyond this, you also have games like Tetris 99 and F-Zero 99
Yeah, they're
included. You get access to multiple major DLC and a couple of Switch 2 edition
Hi, Mega
upgrades,
Fighter.
Nintendo Music, the Nintendo app. Like, if you were to tot up the value of just the games and DLC, it would be in the thousands. Now, let's compare to another online service, Xbox Game Pass. If you opt to get the Xbox Game Pass core package, the low-end package, you can pay quarterly, meaning you'll have to pay around $25 every 3 months, which comes to $100.
I may be lying here, but I'm pretty sure Xbox Game Pass, not only does it have new games on it, I know, crazy. Not anymore. This video is earlier. But Xbox Game Pass had new games. So you're talking about $60 games, not some random NES game you get for free anywhere. And then the other thing is, I'm pretty sure Xbox Game Pass has no exclusive, right? I'm a British, I know. Yeah, I already went over British, not people. Not people. Our version of people is far too loose. I don't like it. I don't like how people just means anyone nowadays. The British are not people. We know that. Anyway, but anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure there are no exclusives to whatever the fuck it's called. Xbox Live? No. Whatever the Xbox thing's called. There are no exclusive games to it, so you can still get those games, right? The games available on the Switch Online that you have to pay for Switch Online, you can't get them anywhere else. So you have to buy their online service for it. You can't just own the game.
A year. This is twice the price
Game
of Switch
Pass,
Online.
that's what it's called,
But
Game
unlike
Pass.
the full Game Pass package, this only comes with 25 games. Now, granted, I'm sure those are great games that would be worth the individual cost, but the point is that the Switch Online's top package, at least top individual package, is half the price of Xbox's lowest price package and has almost 14 times as many games. Now, of course, the games on Switch Online are often smaller games owing to being retro games, but not all of them are, and regardless of that, it's still worth noting that many of the featured games are beloved classics and sometimes among the best games of all time. On Xbox, you can get Game Pass Ultimate, which lets you play hundreds of games, and again, that is actually
the problem
kind of worth it.
is, they're
the price then
games
goes
you
to
can't-
$20 a month.
If it's this like super great game that you love, wouldn't you want to like own it so that you have it and it's yours, not a fucking rental service and you can't get it any other way? And I'm not even saying it's that bad. I don't really care, but it's not good. It's definitely not good.
$240 a year. That is almost 5 times the price of the Switch Online expansion. And games
Yeah, the difference
don't
is you can
usually
get,
stay on Game Pass forever,
or at least
which
you
means
used to,
lose
be
access
able to
to
get
certain content
$70
unless you buy it
games
separately. Not only is this
the
not an
second
issue
they
for
come
Nintendo,
out,
as
compared
only one
to
game has ever been taken off the
$8
service,
old
but the library
games.
is constantly growing. It will eventually get to the point where there are thousands of games available on the service, and someday we may even see games from consoles like the Wii and Wii U.
Imagine being this
meaning genuinely
delusional,
modern
by
standard
the
games
way.
could be part of that
It'll have
subscription. All
thousands
this
of
to say,
games.
complaints
Yeah, they're
about Switch Online
charging you
are valid, but it's always
$40
gonna be
for a
uphill
Wii
battle
game,
when
but
there's
yeah,
just
they're
this
definitely
much
going to give
content
them
for a
to you for
comparatively
free.
rock bottom price.
Oh yeah,
And yes,
just keep
Nintendo
waiting.
does not have
It'll
rock
happen.
bottom prices on everything, but as I've said, if the worst thing they're doing is having a very cheap online service with lots of extra content and then having expensive but typically high quality games and DLC, they aren't really doing that bad. So the idea that they're evil just feels way overblown. Heck, it genuinely
Again,
feels
they're,
brain-dead
you
to
know,
think.
one,
This is why I say that
it's
it
a
makes
very
Rock
good
Band come
title.
across as an idiot.
Provably
They are
so,
open and
very
upfront
good
about
title,
what
but
to expect
still,
from their games and
they
DLC,
seem a lot
and
less
there's nothing
evil
hidden
when you
that
ignore
manipulates
the
people
worst
into buying
thing they've
things
done.
They don't want to buy. The prices are expensive, but you don't have to buy them. Heck, I can criticize the Bonanza DLC, but I simply didn't buy it, and I'm happy with that.
Okay, you don't have
It
to
isn't like
watch
what
my
other
video.
companies do
Why
with
make
their
this whole
predatory
video? Oh,
monetization
you just
practices that
don't.
put
You don't
you
have
in.
to watch it.
Nintendo
Also,
is
stop.
completely
How does
upfront
he
about
keep
its
missing the
costs. It's
coins?
expensive, but that's also the nature of the
Schizo
industry, and
Garcia,
it's
thanks for
priced
$2.
at the expense of things
Beloved
like the
classics like
American
Yoshi
simply the
64.
concept of
What a
inflation.
joke.
None of that is
Yoshi
specific to
64 was
Nintendo,
great.
and the things that are specific
Fuck,
to Nintendo
Yoshi
are actually
Storybook
mostly
is
good
what it's called.
practices.
Yoshi
Now, I'll
Story.
grant you,
Yoshi
the
Story
patent
was
thing on
great.
paper
How
is
dare
quite
you?
bad, and I can kinda see why Frog
Harja
has that
Singh,
evil
thanks for the
label on
40.
it.
I just
But even
coomed
that
and saw
feels like a
Debben
harsh label,
live.
and
Women
it
can
even
wait.
kind of assumes that
That's
Nintendo
good.
is going after
Time
small
Traveler,
indie
thanks
studios
for
when,
$5. Sup.
they're going after one
Hello.
developer that has already wronged them. Again, if they do end up throwing their weight around with these patents, then
They
that's bad.
already
Not
have.
sure I would
They
call it
already
evil,
have
but definitely bad.
Pal
Like, it's
Pals,
obvious
whatever
that
the
we
fuck
don't
they're
live in that
called.
reality.
Pal
But the
People,
stupidity of the
Pal
evil
Men,
label goes beyond
Pal
just the fact that their
Friends
monetization
is an
isn't actually that
indie
bad.
company.
I started
So
this
they've
video by
already
making
done what you're
hopefully
saying.
obviously ridiculous comparisons between Nintendo's pricing and things like J.K. Rowling's crusade against transgender people or the Palestinian genocide. The
Oh,
reality
no.
is that using the word evil
Oh,
to describe
no.
a video game
Oh, no.
company charging more money than some people want to pay for their
Oh,
video
no.
games and accessories when we can see actual horrendously evil acts happening in the world. comes off as a
Dude,
massive
come
dose of
on.
rage.
One
I
of
love
those was
video
just
games,
some
an
old
incredible
lady
amount,
being
and
annoying
they're
on
core to
Twitter.
who I am,
That's
but I also
horrendously
understand that they
evil.
are not a necessity.
Okay.
They are a luxury. We can live without video games, objectively. If Nintendo was charging way too much
You
money
can
for
live
medicine
without
or
going
food
on
or
Twitter.
even basic necessities like
I know
water,
some of you
then
can't.
that would be evil
Some
because they
of
charge
you
way too
can't
much
live
and
without
literally
going
use
on
those
Twitter.
things in order to
Stay
make
off
money.
Twitter. It's
But they
not
aren't
good.
doing that. They're making video games expensive, and there's always that choice. That's why I just don't understand the complaints about price. Or rather, I do, but it feels overblown because, like, worst case scenario is either you pay more for a game than
it's
you would
just
like,
annoying
or you don't get to
because
play a
everything
game, and that
costs
sucks,
so
but it's also
fucking
not
much
gonna have a big
already.
impact on your life.
We already have to pay $9 billion to get a starter home. I'm tired of everyone trying to leech us money all the time.
Not trying to convince everyone that the people not selling you games at your preferred price point are evil. This is, in the end, why
Look, I've said it many times before. Anyone I don't like is evil.
Even watched it.
It must be executed for their crimes.
Ridiculous, but it's one I see expressed relatively frequently and not challenged nearly as much as you'd hope. Have reasonable criticisms, express them. These are good things to do.
Bro, he's got to win one time.
But can we leave the hyperbole and sensationalism?
Who does this, by the way? He's like, watch me fail at this challenge and then give up. He gives up. He didn't succeed.
At any given time.
Wait,
this topic just
did he actually succeed?
These are good things to do.
Wait, this is really important to me.
This is, in the end, why I wanted to talk about this video, and knew I wanted to from before I'd even watched it.
Wait,
because the notion of Nintendo
I need to see, does he
is
actually fail and then give
up? It's one I see
up?
expressed relatively frequently and not challenged nearly as much as you'd hope.
Come on, he's almost there. Yeah, you just give it. You coward.
But can we leave the hyperbole and sensationalism?
Why would you post this?
I know this is a fairly negative video for me to be making, and not at all on brand, but I'm still just making whatever I feel like making at any given time, and this topic just fascinated me, so I really wanted to do it, and it's another type of YouTube content I can tick off the bucket list. This isn't going to become my whole shtick, but I hope you stick around and check out other stuff I've done, or like this video if you liked it, or dislike it if you didn't like it, I guess, or comment about, I don't know, how I'm actually wrong and Nintendo employees routinely punch babies. Either way, I hope to see you in the next one.
Alright, that was the whole video. Did we have fun? Did everyone have fun? I had fun. I lost my voice. I can't talk. I yell too much. No more yelling. He fails and gives up. That's a big sad. That's genuinely big sad. Yes, yes. Some people had fun. No, no, yes, yes, no. Yes, very fun. Good video. Actually, I want to just do a quick poll if we had fun. Did we have fun? I had fun. Yes, rage bait. I did get it was rage bait. This is my personal rage bait. Yeah, nobody, don't you do it. Don't you find this. Look, if you find the video and you say anything, I don't know you. I don't know you and you don't know me. Who's Frogmire? You talking about that Family Guy guy? I like Family Guy. Hate is the best emotion. Yeah, we mostly have. Give him a shout out. We can all sub to him. No, I don't trust any of you. I don't trust any of you. Get him on Budcast. That'd be a good one. That'd be a good one. Yeah, Nick is the one who found this, by the way. He found this and sent it to me. Do not comment that Lord Frogmire sent you. I did not send you. Do not do that. And thanks for the $5. Can we watch a technical breakdown of SSJ Goku versus Frieza to get our brain cells back? No. That is funny, though. Schizos Garcia, thanks for the $2. He sounds like he eats his corn cob from the tip. Yeah, dude, he swallows it whole. You already know. There's no chewing. It's straight down. Nick does love drama. He's with me. By the way, one of your vids is on the ED page for Pirate Nation. What is that? I don't know what any of that means. Sounds like a Mexican college course. Anyway. That was really long. I have another one, but I don't think we're going to watch it. That's why... How do I... Wait. Alright. Probably not going to watch the other one, because the other one is just as long, and I'm, like, losing it. Oh, Encyclopedia Dramatica. For Pirate Nation? Oh, for Pirate Software, you mean? Oh, that's cool. Extra Deck? Yeah, is it Yu-Gi-Oh related? Yeah, let me we'll just peek at it for a second. We're definitely not watching it, but the whole thing. But we can at least peek at it. We can do a little peek, a little look see.
So here's the guy.
All right, dude. I don't even know if I can show this. So yeah, this one's 4 hours and 30 minutes. It's 4 hours and 30 minutes. Bro, there is no amount of money you could pay me to watch this whole thing. Well, you might as well. 4 hours. 4 hours. My response to Lord Frogmire's Pokemon Legends ZA is an overpriced disappointment. 4 hours. We'll listen to a little bit, just a little bit.
This is the video that's been popping up. Fucking all of.
We're doing double speed, by the way. There's like no fucking way. Oh my gosh.
Advice on my YouTube recommended, and I did watch it 4 days ago, by the way. It was 1.2 million views.
Mucho,
It
text.
had like 4 views when I first saw it. But no, I was really curious because I was like, well,
Why
I
are they
wonder how
both
this- I really
moving
do.
with him? Which one
it's
is?
like, Game Freak makes a new Pokemon game. Who's gonna fucking enjoy it? No one. Because after Scarlet and Violet, I mean, like they just pump out like literal garbage.
Oh,
I
okay.
wouldn't say. Again, this is
Wait, is this
there are
positive?
negatives about Legends ZA, right? There are definitely negatives. Don't get me wrong, okay? But I feel
Oh.
like the positives that the game has, like in terms of the story, the characters, gameplay, like all of that kind of outweighs the negatives, and I do think the game is pretty decent.
No,
granted,
no.
I know, obviously, the big, huge elephant in the room is I wish we had an entire region that had this kind of gameplay or this kind of like style to it. I wish it was not just Lumino City, and I wish an entire region was just fleshed out.
I wish it wasn't
that would be
shit.
my dream, okay?
VTubers scare me,
positive
me too,
results,
dog.
I'm sure they'll make it.
Oh, you want to skip to the middle?
Time,
This is
though, I
like
just
4
wish
hours.
they could
What do you think was maybe we go. Let me see what he says about the loan shark part. That's like right here. God damn, he talks about that for a long time.
Age with the game, genuinely, like genuinely seriously.
Stop talking.
To spoil, but you really don't want to hear anything
As dies, by the way.
about it. Use the timestamps to skip this section. Now you're part of a crew of a couple dweebos, and the leader of your crew.
Again, how is this relevant to the plot in any significant way? This is one side arc.
Bro, that's like a third of the fucking story. There is no plot. The game doesn't have a plot. This is literally like a third. The game has no story. There is no plot. The plot is a big old guy made weapon. Weapon go crazy. And we have to stop it. There's nothing else. There are no villains. There are no characters. There's no nothing. It's just a big weapon. It's going crazy. We got to stop it.
Like, the way this game is structured, in my opinion, is actually pretty decent. You have the prologue, which is basically all the
No, it is not. No, it is not. It's like 5 hours of tutorial and then like basically what should be side quests over and over again. And then the game ends because there's no narrative. There's no real narrative. There are no villains. There's no evil team. You're not fighting for anything. There are no ideals. No one learns any lessons. None of it. There's literally none of it. It's a series of side quests. And here I give you one example of a side quest. And then the game just ends. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, dog.
way up until meeting Emma, right? And then after that whole sequence is done, you have your team meeting, right? I would then say the next arc is all the way up until reaching Vinny, okay, or at least rank W. And then from rank W, going past Vinny to ranking up to like rank F is like the next arc. From that point onward, each subsequent rank is its own arc, its own story arc. That's just how the game is. I don't.
Okay, but you're not saying what the arcs are. What makes an arc? Here's what an arc in like an actual story is someone learns some kind of lesson, right? Or something very meaningful happens. Because I guess you could have an arc where no one learns anything, although it wouldn't be a great story. These arcs, nothing happens. You just play video game. Devin, do you want a shiny Badoo? I have 3. Sure. Sure.
I'm the casual fucking jabroni. That's just how the game was laid out. Every single rank up mission from that point, it functioned like how you would expect a Pokemon game to function. Like you have how League's broken up into like a bunch of
It does not. It does not function how you'd expect a Pokemon game to function. Pokemon games have evil teams. What are you talking about? Every single one has had one. I mean, even the new ones, they're like not actually evil, but still you have an enemy force you are fighting against. There is no enemy force. The villain of the game is like a tornado, basically. It's just nature. Or, I mean, I guess it's an unnatural weapon, but you know what I mean. It is no thinking being.
Right. You've got like a team.
The worst part is the game presents moral quandaries, but just never questions them. Because there's people being like, hey, you just took my house, right? My house that I live in, and maybe my coffee shop that I work at, and now it's a wild zone with dangerous Pokemon trying to kill me whenever I go home. Maybe that shouldn't exist, right? And then there's no follow-up on it. Who's right? Who's wrong? Why is one right? Why is one wrong? They don't do it. And then there's another guy who says there should be no wild zone. Don't control the Pokemon. People should just get stronger so that these wild Pokemon aren't scary. Does he do anything about it? No. Nothing. It's just never addressed. This game does not have a story. It doesn't have one.
Star shit, you've got the Titan shit, and you've got the fucking like gym leader boss fight shit, right? This is literally the same exact formula, but done way better. Because everything up until your team meeting is your quote unquote. Actually, no, I would probably say because you can do this at any point. I guess it doesn't matter what point you do it at. But the nighttime challenge stuff, depending on whenever you want to do that in the main mission story, the nighttime challenge stuff is basically the Team Star raid battles. Okay, it's
the nighttime raid stuff is the worst shit ever. It is pointless. It is pointless padding of just battling random trainers for no other reason than you're forced to, and they are not even real battles. Even at the very end of the game, Nick is in the post game right now, and you still fight trainers that have 2 or 3 Pokemon where you one-shot one of them before the fight even starts. These are not real battles. I don't know if Mega Fido's still here, but if you are, you being like, I'm not going to buy the game because the battling's going to be shit, you're right. It is shit. It's horrible. But get to the... I want him to comment on the part rather than talking about nothing for now.
Fucking the rogue Mega Pokemon you fight is the exact same formula as taking on a Titan Pokemon with Arven, except it's, more entertaining and more fun. Like, that's how that functions. And then you've got your rank up match, which functions...
Okay, why are you talking about... He's saying, like, it's like every other Pokemon game, and then names one Pokemon game that was different than every other Pokemon game. Anyway, get to... Is he ever gonna... What the fuck? What is he talking about? Get to the part of the video where I'm videoing.
Again.
No, wait.
Anyway, back to the loan shark
Is in
conversation.
debt to a loan shark, and I'm talking a real loan shark. Your team leader likes to help
Again, real could be pretty subjective in terms of what his actual goals are as a character.
people out.
What the fuck are you talking... He puts people into debt using fine print that they could not read and puts them in the... It is the most absurd interest that no one would ever sign a real... Like, it would be illegal. The interest is so absurd that in real life it would be illegal. That's what a loan shark is.
Around the city, helped one of the loan sharks, and as a reward, she got offered a loan to make a video advertisement.
Here's something funny, by the way, and you can tell this guy's a retard. He says she because
Dog.
he picked a male character, so he's got 20. It's either 20 or Urbane, depending on your character.
I lost that footage. That section of footage I lost. I have no idea how it happened. You can see Tawny's female and like all the other footage. This one section, which is like the most important one, I lost that section of footage.
So like, it's not necessarily she, but then again, I'm not the one to be complaining about pronouns, right? Like, this is some kind of trans character or some non-binary character. Like,
I lost the footage.
Something interesting. I wonder if this is going to be in the DLC, but 20/Urbane is searching for a person.
Jesus Christ! Just watch the goddamn
I
video.
wonder if the person they're searching for is their like other half, like if Urbane is searching for 20 or 20 is searching for Urbane, or it's something totally different. Because like, I wonder what's to go there. They never mention it. It's just like they're looking, and they want Emma to go look for them. So, or steel poison. I mean, it makes sense with the term rust. Makes sense.
Bro, I'm losing it.
Possible. I mean, I'd be curious if they.
One
Because yeah, like
of the loan sharks, and as a reward,
you'd think while he was gathering the footage for this, he would like rewrite the script a little bit to understand that it's not always going to be 20 that you have.
she got
Motherfucker, you stupid motherfucker. 1.3 million views. Fuck you. It doesn't matter. Every other footage is the same. It's all my footage except this one part.
offered a loan to make a video advertisement for the hotel you guys stay at. And in the hidden...
I also don't know why he's making this like such a big deal, by the way. Like, this is just a plot, like, this is just a plot point. Like,
bro, how is this not a... You psychopath. You absolute psychopath. How... This is, like, extreme yap, by the way. Like, holy shit, dude. He's watching, like, 3 seconds and then will not shut the fuck up for 20 minutes. What was I talking about? I already forgot. I don't know. How do you... Oh, yeah. I'm like, how can you be an ultimate bug man to not see a problem with... They make a loan shark who puts people into severe debt as a good guy?
No. They give you an option to repay the loans by helping them out with some favors because they need help around the town.
No, they don't.
To do their...
No, they don't. You
penalty,
cannot choose it.
no.
Look, watch.
They give you
Oh,
an
wait,
option
fuck.
to-
It's not my footage. In my footage, I say no. They literally give you the option. They're like... He's like, you'll do this thing for me. And then you can say no. And then the other girl stands up too fast and says yes. So no, you do not get the option, you stupid motherfucker. You didn't even try.
Pay the loans by helping them out with some favors because they need help around the town.
I don't know. This is too
Is
much,
that
though. I can't even get to the part I want to see because he won't even let it play for 5 seconds.
Predators who enslave you through predatory loans. And
Oh,
guess
yeah.
what? They're the good guys.
I'd like to point out the reason why he hires you specifically for the job is because you're not from Lumino City. Like, just saying.
What does that have to do with anything?
You're the outsider who wasn't born in Lumino City, so you're the perfect candidate to be like an agent for him. Just saying.
How's that make it better? Why? The fact that he's enslaving someone who's outside the city makes it better. How's that make it better? That makes it worse. Just saying, he's enslaving someone who's not part of the city. He's enslaving a tourist instead of a local. Just saying. Just saying he's enslaving a tourist instead of a local. Are you fucking psychopath? Who are you? Based, actually, yeah.
Yes, the predatory loan sharks are good guys.
Again, anti-hero. All right, he literally says
This is not an anti-hero. You are not an anti-hero who's like kills criminals or something, not someone who kidnaps and fucking enslaves people.
so. He has like a stern. There's a moment when obviously the people are rising up against. This is like such a minor point. The people like rising up against Twister Inc. I keep saying it wrong, but like they turn to this guy. All right. Because he has more power and more influence than the actual like, mega corporation that's currently controlling the Luminous City. He like works with people. He's like a working class man. All right. Think of him.
He's a working class man. Dude, this is too stupid. I can't do it. All right. I knew I wasn't gonna look. You got your taste. This this is too fucking dumb. I think that this one actually might be more fun to watch all of if it wasn't 4 hours and 30 minutes. But we've already done. Yeah, I know. It's too far into absurdity where it's like it's not even it's not worth it. Not for 4 hours and 30 minutes. All right, let's see if can we at least do a conclusion. What's the conclusion? He's just a working class Yakuza Don.
Dropped to like 10 frames. Like I hated that so much. They don't ignore reviews. Oh my god. No reception. Fair enough. Fair enough. Oh, the video's almost over. It's almost over. There's a couple seconds left. How can you fuck it up?
I don't really care. Now, I don't think that suddenly makes the game worth buying. It's not impressive to have a game that runs without a ton of glitches and bugs, but it is
Man, imagine Silent Violet with the amount of bugs it had. And this game having like pretty minimal, almost no bugs. Kind of crazy.
surprising for a Pokemon game. Anyway, that's the review.
Yeah, I mean it's better, but that game was egregious. That's what I'm saying. You know, for no other company is that impressive. You feel like they're borrowing from the Yakuza franchise with that character. Usually characters like this get beat to shit because of them being a piece of shit before they become the good guy, but they skip that step. Yeah, exactly. Well, because he was a good guy all along. They like fucked it up. They're like, he's both doing the most evil thing imaginable, but is also a good guy. They're like, there was no because that's what I'm saying. The game doesn't have a story. There's no character arc. It's exactly what you're saying. Normally, he'd start out as the villain. You as the hero would beat him, and you would have a change of heart. But that would require a story of some kind. So instead, he's extremely evil, and then he just turns out to be good the whole time. For no reason. A good Christian would never. Did he like the video? He did.
no twist at the end. I genuinely was
No twist. As dies. No twist.
pushing myself to finish this game. Not a fan.
That's not the twist, dum-dum.
Anyway, bye.
There's no twist in
I
the
don't think you
video.
actually finished it. I feel like there's a pretty huge thing that happens at the end that you're kind of ignoring. Like you're kind of actively not talking about it.
Well, yeah, I didn't spoil the game. It's a review. You're not supposed to spoil the game in a review. I mean, you can, but I didn't.
It's really fucking cool. But like, okay.
Nothing fucking... Oh, dude, it's super cool. The giant boss fight where you fight the tower where it has 8 million health and has no... It's impossible for you to lose. That was super interesting. It's way more than that. It's way more than 2.3 thousand. I can check. I can tell you how many dislikes it actually has. Let's see. Video. I make videos. What do you do? I make videos. They're YouTube videos. Let's see. Engagement. See more. Okay, it has 3,348 dislikes. That's how many dislikes it is. That's actually... It also does not have 60,000 likes. It has 45,500 likes. Wait, doesn't YouTube actually show that, though? Why is that number so wrong? Let me check. Let me see. Is this right? Is YouTube just like lying?
Pokemon Legend.
Yeah, what the fuck? YouTube says 64,000, but my analytics say it's only 45. Weird. That's really weird. Which is wrong? I don't know. Huh. Weird. They're botted
It's weird,
likes.
bro. It's just weird.
YouTube's gaslighting. Me, someone, I
People
don't
hate
know.
Nova. Really? Oh my god. X1 response that they hated X and Y. Oh my god. That's crazy. I'm assuming the reason why Probably because like that's why they removed the gyms and shit for Sun and Moon. Look, whatever formula this is, I hope they kind of incorporate that into the next like Pokemon game, like main series. Pokemon
I
game,
don't.
whatever the fuck it is.
Please don't.
Like,
It's horrible.
This game, I think, is pretty good, and I would like more
It's
of this game. This is
not.
why I'm kind of glad they did announce the DLCs because like, wow, I get to eat more of this game. Thank God. Thank God. It's actually like pretty good.
Dude, how I don't know. How could you have something be this long and have no substance? Sad. Anyway, yeah, there was no universe we're ever watching all of that anyway, given it's 4 hours and 30 minutes, but I'm glad to know I'm not missing much. Oh, it has 49 views. I didn't even notice that. 49. Where does Nick find these? All right. What'd we talk about on Chudcast? Schizo Garcia? Something. I spoiled Silk Song? I did, but that was intentional. There's a video, Nintendo negativity grifting is out of control, that calls you out by name. While looking through your channel, he tries to hide the DK review video. That's funny. Are we suggesting videos now? No. You didn't... Oh, yeah, it was Thomas. Thomas found that one. But my algorithm is fucked for sure. It's true. Probably just looked up Lord Frogmire reaction. Yeah, maybe. Nick is that guy. Apparently he's not. It was Thomas who found it, not Nick. Yeah, he's my biggest fan. Thomas loves VTubers. Anyway. Let me, I'll look up this fucking other video. Just if it has me in it, my ego, it's just so big. I have to check. The grifting is out of control. You like my Elgato logo? Oh, dude, he stole my Miyamoto. You can't steal my Miyamoto.
Okay, so I'm recording this video.
All right. We're watching this one on double speed because I don't know. I don't feel like I'm... It took me out of me talking about the British man for so long.
Kind of off the cuff here. I actually literally just posted my review of Legends ZA, and immediately all of the comments are coming at me for being even remotely positive about this game.
Yeah,
and
get
I've
his
been meaning
ass.
to make this video for a while, but the discussion around Legends ZA has
is
been more
better
clear
than
than ever,
Black
more clear
Screen.
than ever that I need to do it. The negativity grifting online when it comes to not just
Hey,
Pokemon,
that's me.
but Nintendo has gotten
Go back up
completely
to me.
out of control. Nintendo is a company that needs to be criticized. I 100% agree. They do a lot of bad things, and certainly I think they are worthy of criticism, like any other company. But ever since the Switch 2 came out, the discussion around Nintendo has been completely skewed in one way. There's no
they
good
suck.
faith conversations anymore. There's no nuance to any conversation. Either you are the biggest Nintendo shill of all time and you like every slop game they put out, or you hate Nintendo so much that you act like they kidnapped your dog and tortured your family.
Hey, I
And
like that
specifically,
game.
I think the reason this type of conversation online has risen in prominence so much is because of YouTubers. The
Soy
negativity
voice.
grifting YouTubers that are on this platform when it comes to Nintendo that popped up out of nowhere, out of the woodwork, to just start
Anything
making
I don't
Nintendo
like
negativity
is
videos
grifting.
is so funny to me. Let's take Nintendo for example here. This guy's been around for a while. He has been posting for over 4 years. Used to just do kind of retrospective type content reviews, talking about Nintendo games from a very level-headed position. Lately, he realized that, well, if you just start being a negativity grifter, you get way more views. I mean, look at this. 162K views on Nintendo Live and nobody cares. 52K views on Let's Talk About Nintendo's Greed. Oh, but here's a positive video. Wolverine looks outstanding. Oh, only 7,000 views. Might as well do like another game key card negativity video to pay the bills, right? And it's not just this guy. You go to any channel that posts this type of negativity content. There's a clear correlation between, okay, their videos are doing fine, but not that
They
great,
do
to,
really well.
oh, they made
Look,
one video
look.
about negativity. It blew
Look,
up.
I ain't gonna fucking lie. You want me to lie? I would never lie. The Nintendo hate videos, they do well. Negativity is just more fun. It's just more fun. What do you want? You want people not to have fun? That's evil. That's evil. We talked about what evil was. That's evil. Not wanting people to have fun.
And then their entire personality became about being negative regarding Nintendo. This Lord Frogmire guy is the most recent to realize
That's
how much
me!
money you can make
That's me! Guys, that's me. I'm up there. I'm in the video.
by, just spewing negativity everywhere. And let's be clear, there are room for valid criticisms, and I think even in this Pokemon Legends ZA is an overpriced disappointment video, he makes some good points against the game. But when your entire channel looks like this, when you're saying Silk Song will be garbage and you will buy it anyway.
It is. That's true, though. That's just a fact. And I was right. I was fucking right.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's hard to take your opinion that seriously. Clearly, you realize, hey, if you just say a bunch of negative stuff, maybe not even just pertaining to Nintendo, you try to do it with Silk Song here, doesn't seem like that would be as well as other Nintendo videos, especially as of late. Oh my goodness, look at these views. I mean, this entire channel started 3 months ago, and it's been pretty much...
Dude, you're right. He does skip the fucking Donkey Kong video. I only have 20 videos, so he had to, specifically, put it like this. Wait, did the other one not show it either? You can barely see it in the bottom right. You can like barely see it in the bottom right.
Nintendo videos, especially as of late. Oh my goodness, look at these views. I mean, this entire channel started 3 months
He
ago.
just skips it.
Started entirely in Nintendo negativity. His Nintendo negativity videos do so much better than everything else. It's not hard to see why.
Dude, he's like really quick. He's like really quick. Scroll up.
Are doing it. This is absolutely paying their bills and then some. The moment it became financially lucrative, the moment it became the popular thing to do, everybody started hopping on this Nintendo hate bandwagon. And as someone who plays games for fun, and
yeah, it did show my one. That's my worst performing video though, the Black Souls video. Worst performing.
It's weird to me that these people who hate Nintendo so much, they hate Pokemon so much, spend so much of their energy thinking about it. There's always room for
Dum Dum. I made a whole ass video on it. I love Pokemon. It's you. It's pieces of shit like you who don't love it.
Hold on, wait a minute.
What?
Go back. Did he just say, as someone who plays video games for fun?
Where?
I don't know. There's a little bit of a
are
delay.
doing it. This is absolutely paying their bills and then some. The moment it became financially lucrative, the moment it became the popular thing to do, everybody started hopping on this Nintendo hate bandwagon. And as someone who plays games for fun, and
he does say that. He says as someone who plays video games.
Special?
Yeah,
Is that unique?
yeah. He's like I'm a real hero. I play video games for fun.
Like what, dude? Every time this retard.
Yeah,
says
dude.
shit like that, it's unbelievable.
It's Gobi. Look, it's
Now
Gobi.
me, I do professionally play video games to suffer, but
Yeah.
that makes me special. No, most people don't
Yes.
do that.
I play video.
I'm special.
Dude, I'm a real fucking hero.
special.
I play video games for fun. I'm a real fucking hero. No, I hate this argument where it's like, you claim to hate Pokemon, yet it's all you talk about. I've never claimed to hate Pokemon. I fucking love Pokemon. It's my favorite series. The people who like it are the ones who criticize it because if you love something, you don't want it to be shit on all the fucking time. It's piece of shit like you who love their favorite thing being shit on because you're worthless and you deserve to be shit on. I hate it. Hate it.
criticize things, certainly, and look at the flaws and discuss those flaws. It's weird to me that these people who hate Nintendo so much, they hate Pokemon so much, spend so much of their
I
energy
love Pokemon. I've said it many times. I love Pokemon. You don't love Pokemon. You're a piece of shit. Fuck you.
thinking about it. There's always room for talking out the goods and the bads of a game or what a company does or whatever it is. But
No,
at certain points,
there's
a video
no
game
value in talking about goods or bads when you're actively being shit on. If they made a product that was like, they tried their best and they did a bad job, then maybe you go to the pros and cons and hey, look, at least they did this. They did not try. That is the problem, is they do not try. Look at Sakurai. That's how you know someone's trying. If Kirby Air Rides turned out to be bad, which it won't, but maybe it does, at least you know he tried. He really tried. It has all the shit you could possibly want in it. You could not say that about Legend ZA. You just can't.
A video game franchise is causing me so much inner turmoil that it's keeping me up at night, and I'm just every day posting negative thoughts. I'm filled with negative thoughts about it. Eventually, I just stop engaging with it, right? And the most frustrating thing, as someone who's been making Nintendo videos on YouTube for over a decade, I've been doing this for over a decade, since 2014. For one, I mean, there's so many things about it.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Ooh. 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 Guys, I'm not... I think I know why he's mad. I think I figured out why he's mad.
That kind of drive me crazy. For one, there is this very
I will
rose
not
glasses
comment,
picture of what
but I
Nintendo
think
was
I know
back
why
during the
he's
Wii U and 3DS
mad.
era. I am very nostalgic for that era. But if you think that time to be a Nintendo fan was better than it is right now, you are absolutely out of your mind. I get it. We have nostalgia. We love a lot of the games that did release in that time frame, but the inconsistent cadence of release.
The thing is, what I don't get is who cares, man? Who cares about number on internet? It's fucking not real. Have fun, dude. Make videos because you think they're fun. Like, I'm making money, but I'm also having fun. Isn't that what everyone has always dreamed of?
During that time, during that generation, was pretty bad. I also really despise how people have realized that if you weaponize Satoru Iwata, his passing, and how he was this great Nintendo leader, if you weaponize him and how he died and how that's what ruined Nintendo, you get clicks, you get views, that's, I genuinely find just gross. You can have issues with Nintendo's current leadership. Certainly, the likes of Reggie and Iwata were more personable and more likable than the heads we have now, but I really don't like how people use Iwata and talk about him in such a way to make a point about current Nintendo.
Dude, I love these pieces of shit. Like, are you fucking delusional? Do you think the president of a company dying somehow has no effect on it? And then you're going to argue, okay, it does have an effect, but it was actually positive. That him dying had a positive effect on the company. Like, okay, sure.
But then the main thing, and the reason I hopped on here after posting my Legend ZA review, is the unwillingness to have a nuanced conversation. So, if you've watched my Legend ZA review...
We've lost the ability to nuance. You could have a nuanced conversation about Gen 7, but after Gen 8, no way. You've lost the fucking ability to have nuance, because it's so fucking obvious they're not trying. Why have a legitimate discussion about something that someone didn't even try when they made. There's no, I mean, it's just a piece of shit, man.
Even if you disagree with me, it's a 20-minute video. The first 10 minutes of that video are me saying what I don't like about the game, my issues with the game, the things that I find to not be that good about Legends EA. That is the first half of the video. The second half is me saying, well, despite these flaws, I actually had a really good time with the game. I don't know when this happened. I feel like in certain gaming circles, it's been around for a while, and maybe just recently kind of flooded into the Nintendo scene. Maybe it's just because Nintendo is more popular than ever and they're doing better than ever. But it feels like you can't have issues with a game and enjoy it without getting yelled at.
No, I will say it as clearly as I possibly can. I really fucking hated this game. I did not have fun. And I'm 100%ing the game right now, and I'm not having fun. I started playing Pokemon XD, and I'm like, this is the greatest thing I've ever played. I fucking love Pokemon XD. I want it, and I'm like putting off playing more of ZA to play Pokemon XD. It is, I am not fucking, the cat is tweaking in the chair. That's funny. But yeah, no, I'm not playing up in the video. I genuinely do not like the game.
Like, I acknowledge there are a lot of issues with Legends EA. There are a lot of issues with
I might
every
do
Pokemon
an
game
XD
on Switch.
video.
I would say there are a lot of issues with every Pokemon game on 3DS. Every Pokemon game, honestly, going back to Red and Blue, has issues. Mario Kart World has issues. I really don't like the
Yeah, I
animations.
agree with you. All of them have issues. ZA is just a complete and utter piece of shit, right? As opposed to the other games that had issues but were great, and I love them.
Donkey Kong Bonanza is actually a game that I didn't like anywhere near as much as most people, but because I ultimately said I enjoy Mario Kart World.
I'm playing the mod. I'm playing Pokemon XD DX. That's what I'm playing.
Ultimately said I like Pokemon Legends EA more than a lot of other Pokemon games. I am a shill. And I had these comments
You
on the video
are.
before they even had time to watch
No,
the
I don't
video.
know.
They
Maybe you're
probably
not a
don't like
shill,
it.
but
None
you
of this
certainly have shit taste.
negativity is done in good faith.
Nick, you like ZA, which is fine, but how much do you like it? Like, how do you like ZA more than the like Pokemon Emerald or something?
Hey, we can have conversations. We can talk about these things. We can acknowledge the issues with the Switch 2 and with Mario Kart World and with Pokemon Legends EA and with the fact that they released
No, the
Dragon
thing
Dagger.
is, I don't know what the fuck is up with internet people and being like, we can have a conversation, but what if I don't want to? I don't want to talk to you. Leave me alone. I don't want shit from you. Be gone. Be gone. You don't have to be here. I don't want to talk to you. Leave me alone. Yeah, nah. Black and white is your favorite? Yeah, that's what I thought. You can still, have fun with the game and recognize that they definitely could have done better. But yeah, fuck you. I don't want to talk to you. Leave me alone. I want nothing to do with you.
Which is another other games that I didn't like this year. Kind of interesting that I'm a Nintendo shill, and the only game right now that I'm going to put in my top 10 favorite.
Yeah, Nick likes it because it's a new Pokemon game, which I'll give him. There's no other way to get Pokemon. So if you like Pokemon, maybe, like it just for... I like Scarlet and Violet, and you could probably make all the same arguments for that game.
Games of the year list is probably Pokemon.
Not all of them. Not all of them. God, the combat is bad. But
Mario Kart World will make the cut, to be honest, but I'm a Nintendo shill because I like Legends EA, despite the fact it had issues. There's no room for discussion. There's no room for nuance. If a game has a bad texture, it's the worst game ever made. It's a terrible game. But
I
on the
agree.
flip side,
Fuck you.
and granted, Twitter and other social media, the algorithms are very targeted.
there's a whole lot. Imagine you really think bad texture. That's wrong. What's wrong with ZA? That's it. It's just a bad texture. It's not the combat is ass. The story's terrible. It doesn't even have a story. There's not a single character arc in the entire game. That means there is no story. The online is the worst anyone's ever played in their entire lives. You can't go in any of the buildings in a city. But no, all that's wrong is a bad texture.
But I go on Twitter right now.
Fuck you.
And I've been pretty positive on ZA, so the algorithm is feeding that back to me. But I go in there, and all I see are hundreds of posts, if not thousands, from people that I've never seen before on Twitter, just enjoying the game. And for the first time since the Switch 2 came out, I look at my Twitter feed, and it's not, just insane negativity. And then you see these posts of people lining up for the game at night, and you see this report from Bloomberg that Nintendo's getting ready to produce 25 million Switch 2s by March, which is not only a record for any video game console, but it's a long shot record. Like, it's not even close.
Again, you are fucking delusional. Maybe you're right. Who knows? Maybe the mentally retarded will win one time. But you are fucking delusional if you think Switch 2 sells more than the Switch 1.
How much more that is in the first 9 months of any other video game console. And then you think about that, and you think, like, okay,
But it
well,
sells
the game console
faster, guys. More scalpers bought it. That means the console will sell more.
selling well. The discussion online is very negative, but in reality, when you actually talk to somebody in person, maybe somebody who's more casual, not permanently online, the reality is that they're actually doing better than ever. And while I personally disagree with
This
this,
is
a lot of people
fucking
say games they're releasing
delusional.
right now are better than ever. People are loving
If you base your opinion on nothing, then they're doing better than ever. First of all, I don't even give a fuck if they're doing better than ever. That means nothing to me. The fact is, they're shit. That's the problem. I don't care if a piece of shit sells more than something that's good. The good thing's still better.
Legends EA. People loved Mario Kart World. Yes, the hardcore crowd. Intermission, certainly. I agree. I don't like the intermission. I don't like the driving on straight highways. But people are clearly happy with the console. There's this weird, like, sex.
No,
this
they're
weird
not.
bubble
What
online.
do you talk? People, I love lying. That's my favorite thing to do, is to just lie. People love the console. They love it. That's why these hate videos are doing so well when they didn't in the past.
of negativity where it's just, I guess, an echo chamber, I guess would be a word for it, where these people say all these negative things, they get that feedback loop, they see other
Again, this is completely delusional because my channel is tiny. There is no chamber. All of the views come from elsewhere, the opposite of a chamber, right? Now, if I was like a 1 million sub channel and all of my videos were my own subscribers talking about how bad Nintendo is, that'd be an echo chamber. This is literally the opposite of an echo chamber. It's people going out of their way to come here because they agree that Nintendo is fucked right now.
people online agreeing with them, but the reality in the real world is that most people do not feel that way.
I love this is reality real world coming from a person who's probably never even existed in the real world.
It's so weird seeing it because there is such a disconnect between what is actually happening with this console and with its games and how they're reviewing and then how people talk about them online. And there's always been the Nintendo detractors for as long as I can remember, but just never to this degree. And I've said this in videos in the past. It started on April 2nd.
I wonder why.
There was that 10-minute period where people thought Mario Kart World was 90 USD, and since then the conversation has never changed. In fact, I still see people say, "Oh, Legends EA is well because of the DLC. It's actually a $150 game. You gotta buy the DLC, you gotta buy the upgrade pack." So actually,
no,
it's $200. I see people
$550.
every game,
I said
every game,
$550.
it's actually like $10 or $20 more than it actually is. And then we saw game key cards happen, which are certainly not ideal. And then of course you have the tariffs, which it's weird. We hold Nintendo to a different standard than an Xbox or a PlayStation. I've seen almost nobody who is anywhere near angry to this degree.
Frogmire land. Yeah, the Frogmire has a lot of immigration
no one
right
cares
now.
that console raised in price. No one really cares that the Xbox raised in price. Certainly people are making jokes about it because of where Xbox is right now. No one's really complaining that the Xbox handheld is $1,000. I think that might be because people don't care. But then on the flip side, you see Nintendo releases console for $450, and people are like, "This is an overpriced, paperweight. Why would I buy this? There's no games for it." But then you look at the lineup of games, and there's major exclusives almost every single month, if not multiple a month. The third-party lineup is better
dog
than
shit
any other
is
Nintendo
the
console.
problem.
And it's just like, what is happening? I feel like I am living in an opposite world where people online are just completely detached from reality. Mario Kart World should not be $80, and I think the concept rollout for that game.
Imagine being that fucking delusional. If you think my baby retard games aren't good, you're detached from reality, dude. You don't like my baby retard game? Detached from reality.
Thereof is a disappointment. It's still a good video game, though. That game's a lot of fun. Pokemon Legends EA had its DLC announced beforehand, and some of the patches might not look the best, but it's still a fun video game. Donkey Kong Bonanza isn't my game of the year, but a lot of people had a lot of fun with that game. There's some players going to go for $50 US. That's completely insane, but that doesn't change the fact that the game is probably going to be pretty good, even if I think visually it's very underwhelming. Ultimately, it either comes down to you either hate Nintendo, like your life depends on it, or you are the most blatant.
I love this is also completely untrue in the fact that I made a video praising Kirby Air Riders and it got 100,000 views. And again, I'm a tiny channel with 20 videos. Like, this just is factually incorrect. People are criticizing Nintendo for doing bad things because they're doing bad things. And you're a dick sucker.
And your opinion can't be taken seriously.
The volume's low? I don't know. It's already over.
And I'm tired of it. We can have conversations, guys. We can talk about the good and the bad. We don't need to be disingenuous.
I do not want to have a conversation with you. What do you not understand? No one is forced to have a conversation. What is this shit? I don't give a fuck. Leave me alone. I don't like you. Go to your own fucking corner. If I want to shit on something, that's my prerogative. Do something about it, pussy. Good guy, Sakurai.
With our takes, just to like feed the negativity loop, man. It's so tiring. It's also very much okay to enjoy games.
Redeem.
That have you don't need to constantly be having negative thoughts about every single thing you do and interact with in your day-to-day life. As they said in the classic Pokemon intro from 2011, it's not always
again. This is objectively untrue too, because like I said, everyone was positive about the Kirby Directs. Everyone, all the same people shitting on the Switch 2 are positive about Kirby. Why? Because it's good. They're doing good things. It's crazy. People are negative about bad stuff and positive about good stuff. Impossible. Impossible.
But that is going to do it for today's video. I just wanted to hop on here and rant a little bit about the negativity grifting that has gone on in the Nintendo community over the past few months. It is getting insane, to be honest. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let's have that conversation. And until next time, folks. Peace.
Oh my god, it's me.
Insane, to be honest. Let me know your thoughts in the conversation. And until next time, folks. Peace.
Hello? Oh my god, it's me.
Hello?
Hello? Hello? No, why is it lagging? Come back, me. Hello? Who's that? Who's that? Wait. No, why is it lagging? Who's that? Come back, me. Who's that guy? Hello? Who's that? Who's that? Wait. No, why is it lagging? Who's that? Come back, me. Who's that guy? Hello? It's a good stream. Who's that? Wait. No, why is it lagging? Who's that? It's a good stream. Come back, me. Who's that guy? Hello? It's a good stream. Who's that? Wait. No, why is it lagging? Who's that? It's a good stream. Come back, me. Who's that guy? All right, that's enough. All right. I have to pee. Watch yourself. It's a good stream. Who's that? Wait. No, why is it lagging? Who's that? It's a good stream. Come back, me. Who's that guy? All right, that's enough. All right. I have to pee. Watch yourself.
Who's
It's a good
that?
stream.
Who's that? Wait.
No, why is it lagging?
Who's that?
It's a good
Come
stream.
back,
Huh?
me. Who's that guy?
All right, that's enough. All right. I have to pee. Watch yourself. It's a
Who's
good
that?
stream.
Who's that? Wait.
No, why is it lagging?
Who's that?
It's a good
Come
stream.
back,
Huh?
me. Who's that guy?
All right, that's enough. All right. I have to pee. Watch yourself. It's a
Who's
good
that?
stream.
Who's that? Wait.
No, why is it lagging?
Who's that?
It's a good
Come
stream.
back,
Huh?
me. Who's that guy?
All right, that's enough. All right. I have to pee. Watch yourself. It's a
Who's
good
that?
stream.
Who's that? Wait.
No, why is it lagging?
Who's that?
It's a good
Come
stream.
back,
Huh?
me. Who's that guy?
All right, that's enough. All right. I have to pee. Watch yourself. It's a
Who's
good
that?
stream.
Who's that? Wait.
No, why is it lagging?
Who's that?
It's a good
Come
stream.
back,
Huh?
me.
Did you have
Who's that
fun?
guy?
All right, that's enough. Did you have fun watching yourself, but in the past? Needs no. No, you didn't have fun? What do you mean? Let's see. Why was it hell? What's wrong? It seemed like it's fun. You still think Nintendo is better than Sony and Microsoft? Probably. Even after all their missteps, but people like this anger me because they constantly make me look bad by association. I honestly probably agree with you. It was hello, no, why is it lagging? Who's that? Have fun watching yourself over and over again. What do you mean? That sounds pretty fun. I would like that. I'd watch that stream. Dude, I have so many new ideas for the fucking torture stream. Maybe we do torture stream soon. I'm not really doing anything else. Because Yu-Gi-Oh's in a playable state at the moment. Torture stream might be fun. Hello emote when? There is a hello emote, but you have to pay for it, unfortunately. Play Stray Children. It's Undertale, but for non-bugmen. Oh yeah, I'll look it up. Tomorrow is holiday. Good day for such a stream. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Maybe I'll do torture stream tomorrow. Wouldn't it be better to do Halloween stream on Halloween? YouTube poop stream? Probably not. You looked up Frogmire on Twitter and the seething is just funny. You made all the big shill accounts mad. Do I need to make a Twitter? I feel like Twitter's just poison though to the brain. I don't even know what I would do on it. Maybe just antagonize people. That's like all I would ever do. Kobe's streaming tomorrow? Yeah, definitely. Almost definitely. No, don't make a Twitter. It'll poison you, probably. It is poison for the soul. Stay pure, no Twitter. Yeah. I promise you, there's no way I would ever use it enough to lol cow myself. I would probably only make a tweet whenever people would remind me that I have a Twitter. Like, I don't even YouTube comment. Well, like, before I had a YouTube channel and while I have one, I don't YouTube comment. I just don't do it. Like, I never think to do it. Yeah, maybe I won't. I need to make a TikTok, though, because someone emailed me about it. Some dude made a TikTok, and it's just my videos. And he's getting like 100,000 views on my videos on fucking TikTok. So I need to make a fucking TikTok now. It's bullshit. Have I played Voodoo Vince? I haven't. I have not. I've heard of it, though. Oh, yeah, I commented on that Low Tier God video. That was on stream, though. Does he have a channel? India Tactics, true. Make a Discord? Never. Never. Good things don't happen on Discord. Good things do not happen. I got the fucking Synthetic Man Discord shut down. My bad. My bad. I didn't mean to. That was not my intention. Yes, it got unbanned. All right, let me find that. All right. Is it just called Low Tier God? How do you get unbanned? How do you get banned? Low Tier God gets trolled in MK1 voice chat and it didn't end well? There's no way that's him. Is it at the real Low Tier God? He just made it, so it is this with 8,000 subs? It is. Okay. Here, I might as well. I don't think I've...
Look at you don't even know what to do. Look at this sorry ass.
I'll comment. Hello. What do we tell him? Hello. Low tier. God. I am... This is a troll channel? God damn it. Why does everyone lie to me? Can one of the mods link his actual channel? I knew this was a troll channel. Why would he comment his own video, Low Tier God gets trolled? It is his real channel. Who's lying to me? No, it's actually him. Okay. Why would he type? This is crazy. Hello. Low Tier God. Come on Budcast. The podcast for white people. Does he like or not? Doesn't he like not like black people? Should I tell him I'm black? I'm black. Low Tier God, I am black. Please be my friend. Don't stop believing chat. Is it not real? This is his actual channel. He just titles videos like that. I guess is reverse psychology of the troll channels. This is a troll channel. Could someone tell the truth? This is his channel. Okay, thank you. It is this. Okay, it is this then. Are you guys sure? All right, all right. Low Tier God. Look, help me brainstorm. What are we telling him? Come on. Why am I doing this like a YouTube title? Low Tier Chud. Should I just call him Low Tier Chud? Come on, Chudcast. Low Tier Chud. Come on, Chudcast. What? Say I'm black. Okay, yeah, okay. I'm black. Italian. Please come on, Chudcast. Please come on, Chudcast. No Chud gets censored. Damn. Please be on podcast. Low Tier God. Come on, Chudcast. Mamma Mia, Papa Pizza. Mamma Mia, Papa Pizza. How's that sound? That seem good? Low Tier God, come on, Chudcast. Mamma Mia, Papa Pizza. This is weird. No, don't do that one. No. Low Tier God, from a black man to another, I'm Italian. I cordially invite you to join me and my brother Synthetic Man in our prestigious podcast, Chudcast, the best worst podcast on the internet. No. Simple. Just, Low Tier God, come on Chudcast. Well, what is he called? We'll talk about. I'll just say low tier god. I ironically just Klaus Mystery thinks 20 pesos. I ironically just paid pizza. I don't write comments. That's why I don't know what you're supposed to write. Low tier god, come on, Chudcast, please. Thank you. How about that? And then draw a bunch of hearts. Heart. How's that sound? Pretty good, right? Pretty good. You're the non-autistic brother. That's why I like talking to people in real life. I don't like internet communication. I don't approve of it. I don't approve of any internet communication. I've never done it, and I don't like it. When people send me emails, I get upset. Kobe! Come here. iDubbbz is in denial. Whoa. Make it more threatening? Come on, Chudcast, or I'll make you black.
What?
This is Low Tier God's YouTube channel. What do I say to him?
Is it actually? I thought
Yes.
he didn't even have a YouTube channel.
Apparently, he made a new one.
Come on, Chudcast. We won't even call you Dale. No.
We won't.
I don't know. Why are you asking me?
Why do you smell like smoked sausage?
It's the jerky. Beef jerky is.
Okay. Tell him to join his black Italian brothers on Chudcast. Yeah, so he confirmed it on Twitter. Yeah. Come on, Chud, guys. Synth, Smash Burgers. It's the Smash Burgers. Come on, Chudcast, or you're not black. I think he would like that, though.
Yeah, true.
Low tier god, come on, Chudcast.
We'll make you white. We'll boil you.
We'll make you white. We'll make you white. I don't know. No, that's not very nice. I'll just say, come on, Chudcast, and then I'll put an angry face. How's that?
Why are you even? I mean, this is amusing, but there's no universe for your response to.
What if I make a fish? Come on, Chudcast, fish. Then put 2 fish. He'll be like, what are those fish about? Pretty good, right? That'll do it. I knew it. The fish is a good idea. The fish one. The fish is genius, right? No one can fucking.
You can't see me shaking my. No.
Tell me, dude. Tell me, you saw 2 fish, you'd be like, this guy's serious.
I mean, this is mildly amusing, but it's probably.
Wait, where's the devil emoticon? I could use the devil. What's it called? Demon? Devil? Oni, maybe? Oni. Put an onion. Oh, onion. 2 fish and an onion?
Sorry, I got distracted by Abaddon being in chat because every fucking time I see his image.
What is it?
You'll know. What is that? You know what that is.
Oh, you can't do that.
Yeah, and he has like 100 accounts that are different generated images of that.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right, this seems good, right? Low tier god, come on, Chudcast, fish, onion. It's pretty good, right? I couldn't do better.
Yeah, I got no comment, man. You post whatever you want. I mean, he's not gonna come on Chudcast.
It's just 2 eggs. No, that's an onion. Fish, onion. Don't call him a gay fish. He said before people have to pay him to get him to work with you.
Yeah, I'm not giving him any money. Are you fucking kidding
Come
me?
on, Chudcast.
We'll give you $350. $350 for the homie.
We won't pay you because you're black. I don't think I can say that.
How do they not know you're my brother? Like,
I don't know.
Dude, how does no one know this? It's not even a secret.
We won't pay you. Come on, Chudcast. Or you're gay. Could I just, or you're gay. Or you're gay.
Yeah, that's not gonna come up, but it's probably just gonna get shadow banned.
And then put 2 fish.
I guarantee it's gonna get shadow banned.
Or you're,
Zesty.
Zesty, or you're zesty.
Yeah, or you zesty.
Or you're zesty. Then 2 fish. Do we put the onion? How are we thinking about the onion? Do we approve the onion? More or less fish? Yes. Yes, onion. 2 fish, no onion. Onion is essential. I'm tentative on the onion.
Whatever.
The fish is... The onion ruins it. 2 fish, 1 onion. Only fish, no. All right, we have to do a vote for the onion. It seems we're divided on the onion. All right, onion. Start poll. Say you'll name it to Rogcast. Yeah, do I put Balrogs in there? Yes, the onion. Yeah, onion. Onion's owning. Onion. You're putting the onion in. 2 fish and onion. Or you're... I'll put no Balrogs. No Balrogs present. No Balrogs. Wait, no Balrogs. Balrogs. This is the most, like, fucking autistic thing I think I've ever made. Cyrax for Chudcast. Yo, low test god. He's not honorary if he doesn't come on. Who's Cyrax? Syriax. Yell low test god. Or your low test god. Low test god. I don't know if that's better or not. Oh, he's another lolcow. Okay. More fish. But he's bald and white. Tell him you can make him an honorary toucan. Low tier god, you're invited to Budcast, the #1 podcast for Browns on YouTube, ran by me and my good buddy. If you don't accept, you're not black. That's pretty good. I don't know if I can say that, though. 3 onions? Not enough onion? Not zesty is better. Okay. Two fish, 3 onion. Is that a good... I think that's a bad ratio. Maybe 3 fish, 1 onion. We don't have enough fish. All right, I'm done with this. I'm gonna. We're sending it because I don't care. And then we're done. All right, there we go. Low tier god, come on Chudcast, or you're zesty, no Balrogs, 3 fish and an onion. It's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. I wouldn't be... Anyway. I like this Elgato logo. If he refuses, he is black. That's true. It never began. No, it is not. I'm going to like my own comment, though. Ow. I know, he can't deny. The Elgato. Do you like the Elgato? My Elgato's a piece of shit. It lags. I hate it. Elgato, no signal. What a good motto. It is a good motto. I like it. He's coming without a doubt. Now, I don't know. He might be zesty. He might be zesty. I don't know. Anyway. This is one of the weirdest live streams I've done. I think this one's been pretty normal. I think it's been pretty normal. Anyway, that's probably it. Probably going to go cook dinner and stream probably tomorrow again. Probably earlier than this one. And either it'll be the torture stream or something Halloween related, depending on if I feel like getting things set up or not. That's probably all I had to say. 6 smash burgers? No. No, a normal amount of smash burgers is what I shall eat. Anyway, bye chat. Schizo Garcia, thanks to $2. For real though, we need DBDR on Chudcast. No fucking way, dude. Me specifically, there's no way I could hold it back. I'd have to mock him in some way. Anyway, bye chat. Bye.